ताकि आप शेयर भी कर सकते स्क्रीन।
कैसे शेयर कर पाऊंगी, मुझे नहीं आता।
नहीं, आपको कुछ अगर स्क्रीन शेयर करनी है वो तो
हाँ, स्क्रीन तो मैं नॉर्मल जो स्क्रीन शेयर करती हूँ वैसे ही करती हूँ।
उसके लिए आपको होस्ट बनाना पड़ता है, अदरवाइज
अच्छा, ओके।
मैं होस्ट बना देता हूँ और ताकि आप शेयर भी कर सकते हैं।
कैसे शेयर? नाउ वी आर लाइव।
या वी आर लाइव।
Okay, chalo. Good evening, everybody. So today is the third day for our financial management CA Inter. I hope everybody is learning something from this session. And in this lockdown, I know जब मैं पढ़ाती हूँ उस टाइम तो कम लोग होते हैं, but then after that I'm seeing a lot of people are actually seeing and studying from what I'm teaching. But most importantly, please, very important, all of you, please go through ICI material. Please go through the past year question papers. FM में बहुत ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं है as far as CA Inter and IPCC is there, except that dividend policy and capital budgeting में थोड़ा. Anyways, I'm going to start off with working capital today. So, but then please now read the ICI material. I think you'll be really able to get a lot of things and understand things better. So before I start up, any kind of problem which you want to ask me, because now it is going to be absolutely new. So I'm not talking about what has been done in the past 2 sessions. आपका पूरा module 1 for CA Inter students and for IPCC students also, आपका basics, आपका cost of capital, आपका capital structuring, MM approach, leverage analysis, everything is done. और इसी में मैंने आपको trading on equity, the concept of indifference point मैंने आपको बता दिया है. Everything has been covered as far as first part of FM is concerned. And today we are doing the next part of FM, and that is working capital management. Rushikesh, I can't see anything happening live. Is it live? Should I?
Yeah, it's live.
It's live.
Shall I?
अच्छा, मेरे दूसरे उसमें मुझे कुछ दिख नहीं रहा है. I'm not able to see or view anything.
I will share link with you directly.
एक बार मैं देखती हूँ. I can't see उसमें अभी तक लाइव चैट या मतलब लेक्चर ही मेरा नहीं दिख रहा है मुझे.
वही आपको लिंक भेज देता हूँ. या लिंक सेंड कर दिए व्हाट्सएप पे. हाँ जी, लिंक सेंड कर दिए आपको यूट्यूब पे.
लिंक शेयर कर दिया एक सेकंड. बट मैं लिंक किससे शेयर करूँ?
आप क्लिक करो उस पे ताकि आपको आपका लेक्चर दिखेगा. अच्छा,
मैं क्लिक करूँ. ओके 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 ओके, ठीक है. So now continuing, guys, technical glitches. ऐसा लगता है कि okay, मैं start करूँ नहीं करूँ. But anyways, we'll start off with working capital management. Now, first of all, working capital management में से receivable management का question mandatorily आपको देखो examination में on and off आता है. There is never a CA paper set up without asking you a question on receivables management, right? तो ICI मटीरियल में वर्किंग कैपिटल मैनेजमेंट एक सेगमेंट है. उसका वेटेज कम से कम 10 मार्क्स का है. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इफ आई इंक्लूड द थियरी पोर्शन एंड ऑल, इट कैन बी एज हाई एज अराउंड 15 मार्क्स. सो मुझको क्या क्या करना है वर्किंग कैपिटल मैनेजमेंट में? मुझको वर्किंग कैपिटल मैनेजमेंट में आई हैव टू डू द बेसिक वाई वर्किंग कैपिटल. Then I have to talk about the various committees कि कितना lending होता है, बैंक लोन आपको working capital में मिलता है तो कैसे मिलता है. टंडन कमेटी, चोर कमेटी, somebody says core committee, somebody says चोर कमेटी. I'll call it चोर कमेटी. वो हम डिस्कस करेंगे. फिर हम बात करेंगे नॉर्मल वर्किंग कैपिटल का अमाउंट कैलकुलेट करना. फिर हम बात करेंगे ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल कैलकुलेट करना. इंस्टीट्यूट ने ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल बहुत कम बार पूछा है लेकिन डेफिनेटली पूछा है, राइट? तो हमको वर्किंग कैपिटल साइकिल निकालना चाहिए. फिर हम वर्किंग कैपिटल मैनेजमेंट के सेगमेंट्स के बारे में बात करेंगे. दैट इज we'll be talking about cash management, we'll be talking about receivables management या debtor management, and we'll be talking about inventory. ठीक है? And जब हम डेटर मैनेजमेंट की बात करेंगे तो हम फैक्टरिंग की बात करेंगे. सो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी आवर स्टडी पैटर्न. मोस्टली अगेन इसमें 2 दिन जाएगा, दैट इज आज और कल. आई विल टेक एटलीस्ट 2 days टू कंप्लीट एवरी पॉसिबल थिंग. आपको कोई भी क्वेश्चन हो, कुछ हो, आप मुझसे पूछ सकते हैं. एंड आफ्टर वर्किंग कैपिटल वील हैव इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजन. देन लास्ट डे वील डिवोट ऑन डिविडेंड पॉलिसी एंड लिटिल बिट ऑफ थियरी. So now time for me to see the live chat. Good evening, everybody. I hope you're enjoying the session. Great to see all of you. My evenings जो इस lockdown में कटता नहीं था कि क्या करें. Thanks to you guys. After my own sessions, which used to get over at 5 o'clock, you people have made my evenings very interesting. I'm doing work. So thank you so much. So on this note, I start up with working capital management. So first thing, working capital management को discuss करने के लिए मैं कुछ चीजें या कुछ pointers आपको लिखवाना चाहूंगी कि working capital management होता क्या है, what is it? Okay. I'm sharing the screen with you, right? So I'm sharing the whiteboard. पहले मैं कुछ questions लिख दूं आपके सामने जो मुझे चाहिए when it comes down to working capital management, right? पहला first question, ये questions आप please note कर लीजिए, इसके answers आपके पास होने चाहिए. पहला question, मैंने ये क्वेश्चंस रेपिटेटिवली देखे हैं इसलिए मैं आपसे पूछ रही हूँ. डिफरेंशिएट बिटवीन फैक्टरिंग एंड बिल डिस्काउंटिंग. पहले मैं थियोरी क्वेश्चंस आपको दे दूं, फिर मैं भूल जाऊंगी नहीं तो. सो इट्स बेटर कि मैं आपको क्वेश्चंस दे दूं एंड देन आपकी थियोरी प्रिपेयर करके रखिएगा. सो ऑन द लास्ट डेट व्हेन वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग थियोरी, तो मुझे ध्यान रहेगा कि मेरे को वर्किंग कैपिटल मैनेजमेंट पे ये थियोरी चाहिए. ओके, नेक्स्ट मुझे चाहिए आपसे, यू नीड टू टेल मी अबाउट और यू नीड टू टॉक टू मी अबाउट डेट सिक्योरिटाइजेशन. यू नीड टू राइट टू मी अ शॉर्ट कमेंट. आप क्या इससे समझते हो? डेट सिक्योरिटाइजेशन, ये मुझे चाहिए. थर्ड मुझे चाहिए, you need to tell me or you need to write to me about liquidity versus profitability. मैंने इसके साथ आपके साथ डिस्कस भी किया था, ओके, कि क्या चीज मुझे चाहिए. ओके, देन आई वुड लाइक, मुझे सिक्योरिटाइजेशन एसेंशियली चाहिए, राइट. देन guys, you need to tell me about concentration banking and lock box system. You need to tell me about concentration banking, सब लोग इसके ऊपर अपने घरों पे बैठकर नोट्स लिखेंगे, बहुत मैंडेटरी, ठीक है. और लॉक बॉक्स सिस्टम, 2 अलग अलग चीजें हैं. मैंने स्लैश लगा दिया है, मुझे स्लैश लगाना नहीं था बट अभी लगा दिया है, ठीक है. सो लॉक बॉक्स सिस्टम. देन फिफ्थ मुझे आपसे चाहिए, मिलर रोल की थियोरी वगैरह तो टेक्निकली मुझे आई एम एक्चुअली नॉट लुकिंग फॉर, बट मुझको चाहिए 3 principles relating to selection of three principles relating to selection of marketable security. Please, everybody has to write this. Okay. Then, guys, मुझे आपसे नेक्स्ट चीज क्या चाहिए? मुझे चाहिए आपसे फैक्टर्स अफेक्टिंग क्रेडिट पॉलिसी, थियरी चाहिए. हाँ, सब चीजों के बारे में बात करूंगी. इतना करते ही बेटा आपकी थियरी इतनी अच्छी हो जाएगी. कुछ क्वेश्चंस करते हुए वी आर ऑल लुकिंग आउट फॉर मार्क्स, राइट? सो व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स अफेक्टिंग और डिटरमिन, व्हाटएवर लाइन इंग्लिश, व्हाटएवर इंस्टीट्यूट वांट्स टू आस्क, यू विल गिव द सेम थिंग. डिटरमाइनिंग, इंग्लिश गलत लिखी है मैंने, डिटरमाइनिंग क्रेडिट पॉलिसी. देन मुझे आपसे चाहिए repetitive question, actually ABC analysis, but I'm putting in as the last question जो मुझे चाहिए, that is effects of inflation, effects of inflation on inventory management. मैं आपसे ये सारी बातें डिस्कस करूंगी ऑन द लास्ट डे, विच आई थिंक कमिंग ट्यूसडे वुड बी द लास्ट डे. मैं आज लूंगी, कल लूंगी, फ्राइडे तक लूंगी, देन सैटरडे संडे आई वोंट टेक, देन मंडे ट्यूसडे. सो ट्यूसडे जो भी लास्ट डे होगा उस दिन मैं थियोरी डिस्कस करूंगी, विच विल बी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. मैं कल भी आपको कुछ क्वेश्चंस दूंगी. अच्छा, इसके अलावा मुझे क्या चीजें और चाहिए? मुझे कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल में नेट ऑपरेटिंग इनकम अप्रोच, I want net operating income approach. That is the next question. Net operating income approach. मुझे next net income approach. Then मुझे MM approach, MM hypothesis. इन सब के ऊपर नोट्स लिखे हुए essentially चाहिए. मुझको objectives of treasury management. These are repetitive questions, guys, and we can't afford to lose marks. Objectives of treasury management, I forgot that. Effectives of treasury management, ये भी मुझे चाहिए. Okay, now this is all what I am looking for. आज के लिए, आज आपका इतना होमवर्क है कि आपको ये 11 क्वेश्चंस करने हैं. बाकी कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल, लिवरेज एनालिसिस, वो सब जो मैंने आपको बताया हुआ है, वो व्हाट डज अ फाइनेंस मैनेजर डू एंड ऑल, उसकी थियोरी इज सिंपल, जो मैंने डिस्कस किया है वो ज्यादा. नाउ कमिंग डाउन टू माय वर्किंग कैपिटल मैनेजमेंट, राइट? आई स्टार्ट स्टडिंग अबाउट इट. लेट मी स्टार्ट स्टडिंग. सो आई एम क्लियरिंग दिस नाउ गाइस. हम लोग एफएम क्यों पढ़ते हैं? हम सबको पता है हम लोग एफएम पढ़ रहे हैं क्योंकि हम सबका इंटेंशन है दैट द मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ शेयर या मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ द फर्म शुड इंक्रीज. मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ द फर्म इंक्रीज होगी तो शेयर होल्डर को फायदा होगा. नाउ दिस इज इट. नाउ कमिंग अप, obviously once we have talked about cost of capital, we have talked about कैसा स्ट्रक्चर होना चाहिए, मुझे इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए. अब बहुत जरूरी आता है कि हमारे को पास डिसीजंस कैसे कैसे होते हैं, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ डिसीजंस आई टेक. सो एक होता है लॉन्ग टर्म डिसीजन और एक होता है शॉर्ट टर्म डिसीजन. नाउ एज पर रूटीन, जो मेरी हमेशा से आदत है, पहले मैं बहुत एक सिंपल लाइव एग्जांपल लेती हूँ, फिर हम लोग बुक्स के ऊपर जाते हैं और फिर हम सवाल करते हैं. ठीक है? सो कीपिंग द ट्रेडिशन ऑन देयर, let me talk about long term decision, right? Now हम सबको लग रहा होगा कि हम सीए इसलिए करना चाहते हैं, ये मेरा लॉन्ग टर्म डिसीजन. बट पता नहीं, मेरा डिफरेंट सोचना है. आई थिंक हमारा जो डिसीजन है बेसिकली कि मैं अभी फाउंडेशन क्लियर कर लूँ, अभी मैं इंटर क्लियर कर लूँ, अभी मैं फाइनल क्लियर कर लूँ, यू नो, ये जो इसके लिए जो हम पढ़ाई करते हैं, मैं बहुत नॉर्मली इस समय एज अ सीए स्टूडेंट बात कर रही हूँ। नॉर्मली हर सीए स्टूडेंट को लगता है कि मैंने सीए करने का डिसीजन लिया है वो मेरा लॉन्ग टर्म डिसीजन है। गुड इवनिंग आकांक्षा, गुड इवनिंग अमृता, गुड इवनिंग राइटर लर्नर, गुड इवनिंग कविता, गुड इवनिंग एवरीबडी, रूपल, पूनम, रौनक, वंदना एंड मेनी मोर कमिंग अप। तो बट मुझे लगता है कि ये सीए करने का डिसीजन मैं इसको एक डिफरेंट नजर से देखती हूँ और फिर शायद मैं एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ। सबसे पहले सीए करना चाहती हूँ, मैं क्यों करना चाहती हूँ? मैं लाइफ में स्टेबिलिटी चाहती हूँ, आई वांट टू अर्न मनी, आई वांट टू हैव अ गुड लाइफ, आई वांट टू अर्न यू नो a good living for myself, good lifestyle for my children. Okay, fair enough. But मैं सीए करती कैसे? Look at it. मैं जब फाउंडेशन कर रही हूँ तो मैं आई लिमिट माई सेल्फ कि अच्छा फाउंडेशन में ये सिलेबस है, मुझे इतना पढ़ना है, मुझे बस इतने मार्क्स लाने हैं, मुझे इतना पढ़ाई करना है. I am not concentrating on the fundamentals. See, what is CA profession wanting from us? CA profession हमसे चाहता है कि हम academically अच्छे हों. हमसे आर्टिकलशिप या ट्रेनिंग करने के लिए क्यों कहता है? क्योंकि अब कोई मुझसे बोलता है मैम आर्टिकलशिप में हम क्या करते हैं, सिर्फ वाउचिंग ही तो करते हैं, हम सिर्फ टिक ही तो मारते हैं. गॉड, दैट्स ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इट इज टीचिंग मी पेशेंस. जब मैं कल को चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट बन जाऊंगी, मुझे patience is something which is going to be the most important tool which is going to be with me. Yes or no? My boss is always right is the attitude I learn from articleship itself. But हम उन चीजों को इनकलकेट नहीं करना चाहते, बिल्कुल नहीं इनकलकेट करना चाहते. हमारा फोकस एकदम शॉर्ट टर्म रहता है. हमारा फोकस रहता है फाउंडेशन पास हो गया, उसके बाद अच्छा हम ये पढ़ लेंगे, अच्छा हमको ये क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करना आ जाएगा, ओके मेरा सीए इंटर हो जाएगा. ओके, एक सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन सिटिंग एट ICI प्लेटफॉर्म, मैं आप सबसे पूछती हूँ, अगर आप फाउंडेशन पास हो गए, आप सीए इंटर पास हो गए, तो आप सीए फाइनल में क्यों फेल हो जाते हो? कोई भी स्टूडेंट सीए फाइनल में क्यों फेल हो जाता है? कोई सब्जेक्ट्स तो नए नहीं होते. वी आर नॉट आउट ऑफ द ब्लू एट सीए फाइनल लेवल गिविंग यू सम न्यू सब्जेक्ट टू टीच. हम वही एफएम आगे पढ़ते हैं, हम वही कॉस्टिंग आगे पढ़ते हैं, हम वही अकाउंट्स आगे पढ़ते हैं. बट व्हाट एम आई एक्सपेक्टिंग फ्रॉम यू एट सीए फाइनल लेवल? सीए फाइनल लेवल पे हम आपसे एक्सपर्टीज एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं. अब एक्सपर्टीज का मतलब क्या है? एक्सपर्टीज का मतलब ये है कि नाउ योर बेसिक्स एंड फंडामेंटल्स आर ऑलरेडी डन, दे आर ऑलरेडी डेवलप्ड. फाउंडेशन इंटर लेवल पे, नाउ इट इज टाइम फॉर अस टू एनालाइज, टू गेट डीपर इनटू इट एंड बिकम रेडी कि हमारे सामने कोई भी प्रॉब्लम आए, वेदर हाउ नोबल इट इज, वी विल बी एबल टू टैकल इट. बट क्योंकि हमने अपने पढ़ने का तरीका इतना शॉर्ट टर्म रखा था, इतना शॉर्ट टर्म रखा था गाइस, वी वर जस्ट स्टिकिंग टू द फैक्ट ये क्वेश्चंस हैं, इसके ये आंसर्स हैं, ऐसा तो होता ही है और हम इसको रख लें. एंड ऑफ द डे व्हाट हैपेंस? वी स्टार्ट ब्लेमिंग द इंस्टीट्यूट. इंस्टीट्यूट रिजल्ट कम निकालता है, इंस्टीट्यूट में 3% रिजल्ट आता है. अरे बॉस, हमारी वैल्यू तभी रहेगी जब हम इस इंस्टीट्यूट की वैल्यू करेंगे. और रिजल्ट 3% या 10% में किसी को कम रिजल्ट निकालने में इंटरेस्ट नहीं होगा. प्रॉब्लम है कि हम शायद उनके लेवल पर या मार्क पे नहीं जा पाते होंगे, शायद. सी, मैनुअल गलती सबसे होती है. आई एम नॉट सपोर्टिंग एक्स और आई एम नॉट सपोर्टिंग वाई, बट माय क्वेश्चन इज समवेयर वी नीड टू लुक इनटू इट. एफएम पढ़ा है हमने और एफएम हमको ये दिखाता है, बताता है कि बॉस वी शुड नॉट look at short term gains. आज मैं सीए क्वालिफाई कर जाऊं, बट मुझको मेरा काम आता नहीं है, मेरे अंदर बात करना नहीं आता, मुझे मेरे अंदर पेशेंस नहीं है, मुझे सब्जेक्ट की इन डेप्थ नॉलेज नहीं है. हाउ डू यू थिंक आई विल सर्वाइव इन द इंडस्ट्री? आई वोंट सर्वाइव इन द इंडस्ट्री. दैट इज लॉन्ग टर्म. So I think all my students hearing me should understand that हम ये जो सीए कर रहे हैं, सीए एक जरिया है हमारे ड्रीम्स को फुलफिल करने के लिए. ये हमारी जिंदगी का एक लॉन्ग टर्म डिसीजन है. हम अपने आप को कमिट कर रहे हैं. वी आर गिविंग 5 years of our life to this particular profession. So definitely we are looking for a higher market value. Then why are we taking up such stupid small term kind of decisions that is like profitability कि अभी ये कर लेंगे तो इतना हो जाएगा, फिर यही एफएम तो सी फाइनल लेवल पे पढ़नी है, थोड़ा सा इसमें फॉरेक्स ऐड हो जाएगा, थोड़ा सा इसमें पोर्टफोलियो मैनेजमेंट, बट ऑनेस्टली सब कुछ बेस्ड उसी पर है. इफ योर फंडामेंटल्स आर क्लियर, फाइनल इज अ गेम. इट्स नॉट डिफिकल्ट. अगर कॉस्टिंग में हमारे को स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्टिंग, मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग, बेसिक्स ऑफ कॉस्टिंग क्लियर है, सीए फाइनल में वही उसी का एक्सटेंशन है, वही ऑडिट उसी का एक्सटेंशन है. लॉ थोड़ा ज्यादा पढ़ना है, बट लॉ होता क्या है हमने समझ लिया. नाउ वंस आई अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज अ शॉर्ट टर्म डिसीजन एंड अ लॉन्ग टर्म डिसीजन, आई थिंक वी शुड अंडरस्टैंड कि रियल लाइफ में शॉर्ट टर्म बिजनेस के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से व्हेन आई से शॉर्ट टर्म डिसीजन, तो हमारे दिमाग में आता है ऑपरेशंस, राइट. दैट इज जो हम बिजनेस कर रहे हैं, दैट इज जैसे तुम बोलते हो ना, तुम फाउंडेशन पढ़ रहे हो, तो उस समय तुम्हारे लिए शॉर्ट टर्म क्या है, मेरे को फाउंडेशन पास करना है, बस इंटर कर रहे हो, मुझे इंटर पास करना है, हुक और बाय क्रुक. सो दैट इज योर शॉर्ट टर्म डिसीजन. And what is your long-term decision? To become a chartered accountant, to get a good job and do very well in your life. So these are two different things. So now I share the screen with you again. और हम जब short term, long term decision की बात करते हैं, तो बेटा हम बात करते हैं capital budgeting decisions. Capital budgeting decisions जो आपके में चैप्टर है इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजन, वेरन मैंने अगर आज अपने आप को कमिट कर लिया, तो आई विल नॉट बी एबल टू चेंज माय डिसीजन इन जस्ट अ मैटर ऑफ 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. आई विल हैव टू बी कमिटेड फॉर अ पीरियड ऑफ 5 years or 8 years or 10 years. It's a long term decision. When I talk about short term, I'm talking about operations. तो अपनी नजर से सोच लेना, फाउंडेशन, इंटर, फाइनल, ये सब शॉर्ट टर्म है, राइट. और लॉन्ग टर्म है टू बिकम अ सीए एंड टू गेट अ वेरी गुड जॉब. सो प्लीज सी टू इट कि शॉर्ट टर्म डिसीजन भी अच्छे से लो, ऐसे लो जिससे कि तुम्हारा लॉन्ग टर्म डिसीजन बहुत बढ़िया हो जाए और तुम्हारी मार्केट वैल्यू बढ़ जाए. तो शॉर्ट टर्म डिसीजन को पढ़ने के लिए जब हम ऑपरेशंस की बात करते हैं, तो लेट अस फर्स्ट टॉक अबाउट सेल्स. यस सर, सेल्स करने के लिए मुझे क्या करना है, मुझे प्रोडक्शन करना है. Yes, yes, okay. Now ये मेरा तरीका है, I'm not teaching the way it's written in the book, and then we'll slowly build up. लिखा होता है, सेल्स करना है और प्रोडक्शन करना है. I clear this now. अब अगर मुझे प्रोडक्शन करना है, तो सबसे पहले सोच के देखो मैं क्या खरीदती हूँ, रॉ मटेरियल. मैं रॉ मटेरियल खरीदती हूँ. अब ये रॉ मटेरियल डे 1 पे तो फिनिश गुड नहीं बन जाता. इस रॉ मटेरियल को समय लगता है ना चीज को बनने में. सोच के देखो, तुम आज तुम्हें फ्रैंकी खानी है, तो तुम मैदा ले आए, आलू ले आए, तो वो फ्रैंकी थोड़ी बन गई. अभी फ्रैंकी बनने में 2 घंटे का समय है. सिमिलरली तुमने रॉ मटेरियल खरीदा, तो पहले वो अनफिनिश सिचुएशन में जाता है, फिर वो फिनिश्ड गुड बनता है. अब सोच के देखो, इस प्रोसेस में रॉ मटेरियल खरीदा, रॉ मटेरियल खरीदने के बाद WIP में कन्वर्ट होने में 15 दिन लगा, फिर यहां से और 15 दिन लगा, फिर फिनिश गुड तुमने बेचा. अब अच्छा तुमने बेचा, तो तुमने कैश में भी बेच सकते हो और तुम इसको क्रेडिट में भी बेच सकते हो. ठीक है, यहाँ पे मैं थोड़ा होल्ड करूंगी क्योंकि थोड़ा सा हम समझ लें. अभी मैं बोलती हूँ कि नहीं, मैं ना जो अपने गुड्स बनाए हैं उनको सिर्फ और सिर्फ कैश में बेचूं, मैं किसी को भी उधारी पे बेचूंगी. ठीक है, मेरा डिसीजन है, मैं बॉस हूँ, कौन मना कर सकता है इसको. मैंने बोला मैं सिर्फ कैश में बेचूंगी. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू डू एनी सेल्स ऑन क्रेडिट. इसका इफेक्ट क्या होगा बेटा? सबसे बड़ी बात ये होगी कि यार जो आदमी मेरे साथ ट्रेड करना चाहता है लेकिन उसके पास पैसा नहीं है, ना कैश में ना बैंक के फॉर्म में पैसा नहीं है. हाँ, वो उसके पास पैसा आ जाएगा 30 दिन बाद, लेकिन अभी उसके पास पैसा नहीं, वो मेरे साथ ट्रेड नहीं करेगा. लेकिन अगर वो मेरे साथ ट्रेड नहीं करेगा तो इसमें नुकसान किसका है? अब हम बोले उसका नुकसान है, अरे उसका तो नुकसान है, बट मेरा भी तो नुकसान है, क्योंकि मैंने ये प्रोडक्शन किया है सेल के लिए. हमको इकोनॉमिक्स में डे 1 से पढ़ाया जाता है दैट we need to produce what the consumer wants to consume. And if I'm not going to sell this good, what is the usage of this good? So friends, कुछ सेल कैश में होती है, बट कुछ सेल क्रेडिट में भी होती है. आई नो आप लोग नॉर्मली एक वर्किंग कैपिटल साइकिल पढ़ते हैं, बट मैं नॉर्मल ढंग से तो कभी पढ़ाती नहीं. तो हमको बाय डिफॉल्ट क्रेडिट टर्म्स रखने पड़ते हैं. और एक और चीज सोचो आप लोग, जस्ट गो बैक, जब से ये प्लास्टिक मनी आया है, जब से प्लास्टिक मनी इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ है, व्हेन आई से प्लास्टिक मनी, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट क्रेडिट कार्ड, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट पहले कैसा रहता था, वॉलेट में आदमी के पास कैश रहता था, तो वॉलेट भी देखो ऐसे बड़े बड़े बनते थे सो दैट कैश कैन बी पुट इन. अभी आप जाके देखो वॉलेट बिल्कुल पतला सा होता है जिसमें बस कार्ड है. आज की डेट में पीपल डोंट कैरी कैश, दे कैरी कार्ड. और मोबाइल आजकल कैश है, तुम्हारे पास बैंक अकाउंट में पैसा है, तुम उसको गूगल पे कर सकते हो, पे अपने अकाउंट से लिंक कर दो, पेटीएम कर सकते हो. लेकिन तुम ये सोचो, ये पेटीएम से, गूगल पे से, या क्रेडिट कार्ड, पहले क्रेडिट कार्ड आया, फिर पेटीएम आया, फिर गूगल पे, स्लोली एंड ग्रेजुअली, बट इससे ट्रेडिंग कितनी हो गई है. आज मेरी पॉकेट में सोच के देखो 10,000 रुपीज भी नहीं है, मेरे पास 500 रुपए है, बट फिर भी मैं घर से बैठे बैठे 10,000 रुपीज की शॉपिंग कर सकती हूँ, क्योंकि मुझे पता है अभी नहीं है मेरे पास 10,000 रुपीज, बट 15 दिन में मेरी सैलरी आ जाएगी तो मेरे पास 10,000 रुपीज आ जाएंगे. पहले क्या होता था, जब ये कार्ड या पेटीएम या गूगल और ये सब चीजें नहीं थी, मेरे पास जितना कैश होता था उतना ही सामान मैं खरीद सकती. सब लोग बोलते हैं इंडिया इज अ कंज्यूमर इकोनॉमी, हमारे यहाँ कंजम्पशन. अरे कंज्यूमर इकोनॉमी को बूम करने के लिए क्रेडिट पीरियड तो देना पड़ेगा ना, कि नहीं देना पड़ेगा? हाउ विल दिस इकोनॉमी बूम? यू हैव टू गिव क्रेडिट, यस और नो. और ये क्रेडिट कितना देना चाहिए? देना चाहिए 10 दिन का, 20 दिन का, 30 दिन का. ये काम मेरा और तुम्हारे जैसे चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स का है, जो हम इवैल्यूएट करेंगे कि हम जब क्रेडिट देते हैं तो फायदा होता है कि नुकसान होता है. अगर क्रेडिट देने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, बिना क्रेडिट दिए ही मेरा जितना प्रोडक्शन है सारा का सारा मैं बेच लेती हूँ, कैश में लोग पैसे दे देते हैं, तो मैं पागल थोड़ी हूँ जो मैं किसी आदमी को क्रेडिट टर्म्स दूंगी कि ठीक है तुम 40 डेज में पे कर देना. जब आदमी मुझे हाथ के हाथ पैसा देने के लिए तैयार है तो मैं क्यों उसको 40 डेज में का क्रेडिट दूंगी. लेकिन मैं इफ आई रियलाइज कि बॉस आई कैन ओनली सेल 10% ऑफ माई प्रोडक्ट हाथ के हाथ, बट 90% प्रोडक्ट को बेचने के लिए आई विल हैव टू गिव पीपल सम टाइम. और पीपल को सम टाइम देने का मतलब होता है क्रेडिट. यू आर गिविंग क्रेडिट. आई होप आई एम वेरी क्लियर. अब जब तुम क्रेडिट देते हो तो लॉजिकली हम लोग अकाउंटिंग एंट्री क्या करते हैं, हम बोलते हैं डेटर अकाउंट डेबिट टू सेल्स, या रिसीवेबल अकाउंट डेबिट टू सेल्स. रिसीवेबल इज लाइक माय करंट एसेट. इसका नाम करंट एसेट क्यों है? क्योंकि रिसीवेबल्स को मैं क्रेडिट पीरियड 3 साल का नहीं देती हूँ. क्रेडिट पीरियड कैन बी एज लो एज 10 days टू एज हाई एज 1 year. मैं एक ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल, मतलब एक फाइनेंशियल ईयर, या जो मेरा ईयर ऑफ ऑपरेशन है, अगर मुझे चीज को बना के मेरा जो एक फाइनेंशियल ईयर है उससे ऊपर का किसी को क्रेडिट थोड़ी दूंगी, फिर तो अगले साल का मेरा शुरू हो जाएगा. इसीलिए करंट. करंट मीन्स दिस, I will give the person a credit period so that I recover the money within this 1 year time period. बहुत सिंपल भाषा में बोल रही हूँ. Now ये रिसीवेबल को मैंने क्रेडिट पीरियड दिया, let us say 40 days. अब प्लीज रिमेंबर, रॉ मटेरियल से अनफिनिश फॉर्म में, फिर अनफिनिश से फिनिश फॉर्म में 15 days. अच्छा, फिनिश गुड से भी बिकने में भी 10 days लगे, राइट? मैं थोड़ा सा कुछ स्टॉक भी रखना चाहूंगी, मुझे नहीं पता कितना सेल होगा, डे 1 पे मुझे थोड़ी पता होता. आज जब मैं लेक्चर शुरू करती हूँ तो मेरा लाइव क्लासेस घर पे क्लासरूम में थोड़ी चल रहा है, जहां मुझे पता है कि भी 40-50 बच्चा जो मेरा क्लास का स्ट्रेंथ है वो सामने बैठा होगा. यहाँ तो आई हैव टू स्टार्ट द लेक्चर. यहाँ पे कितने बच्चे, कोई रात को वीडियो देख रहा है, कोई सुबह देख रहा है, कोई शाम को सब अपनी अपनी मर्जी से देख रहे हैं. तो मुझे तो नहीं पता कि जब मैं सेशन स्टार्ट करूंगी कितने बच्चे होंगे मेरे साथ लाइव. सिमिलरली जब तुम प्रोडक्ट बनाकर बेचते हो तुम्हें थोड़ी पता है कि कितना सामान तुम्हारा बिक जाएगा. ज्यादा भी बिक सकता है, कम भी बिक सकता है. तो तुमको कितना स्टॉक रखना है डिपेंड्स अपॉन तुम किस टाइप के मैनेजर हो, तुम लिबरल हो, तुम कंजर्वेटिव हो, तुम अग्रेसिव हो, ये सब कुछ टेक्स्ट बुक्स में लिखा, बट ये कुछ रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है। तुम अपने आप को उस जगह पे रख के देखो, यू विल गेट एन आंसर टू एवरीथिंग। कि मुझे अगर इस बिजनेस का ओनर हूं तो कभी कभी मेरी सेल्स इतनी होती है, कभी इतनी होती है, अच्छा मुझे इतने का स्टॉक रखना चाहिए। हम लोग को वैसे भी कॉस्टिंग में रीऑर्डर लेवल, मैक्सिमम लेवल, मिनिमम लेवल, ये सब पढ़ाया गया। क्यों पढ़ाया गया? इसीलिए पढ़ाया गया। ओके, अब ये रिसीवेबल मुझे कैश देता है, अब जाके मेरे पास कैश आता है, फिर कैश आता है। अब तुम ये बताओ, अगर हम मोटा मोटा सोचे, टेक्निकली रॉ मटेरियल में मैंने पैसा डाला था, उस रॉ मटेरियल का वो जो साइकिल पूरा घूम के मेरे पास आया, उसमें कितने दिन लग गए? 15 प्लस 15 30, 30 प्लस 10 40, 40 प्लस 40 80, 80 डेज मेरे, मतलब फ्रॉम रॉ मटेरियल टू वापस कैश के फॉर्म में आने में। चलो मुझे थोड़ा सा सपोर्ट भी मिल जाता है। कैसे सपोर्ट मिल जाता है? जो मेरे एक्सपेंसेस होते हैं या जिनसे मैं रॉ मटेरियल खरीदती हूँ, दैट इज जिनको टेक्निकली हम बोलते हैं क्रेडिटर्स। जैसे हम अपने, जिनको हम बेचते हैं उनको हम क्रेडिट देते हैं, सिमिलरली हम जिनसे रॉ मटेरियल खरीदते हैं, दे कैन ऑल्सो बी नाइस टू मी एंड they can give me a credit period. Now let's say my creditors have given me a credit period of 30 days. Fair enough. ये creditors for raw material थे। सिमिलरली प्रोडक्शन करने में मेरे खर्चे होते हैं, मेरा लेबर है, तो उनको मैं बोल दूं क्रेडिटर्स फॉर एक्सपेंसेस। उन लोग ने भी मुझे 10 दिन का क्रेडिट पीरियड दे दिया, क्रेडिटर्स फॉर एक्सपेंसेस। तो टेक्निकली अगर आप देखो 80 डेज मेरा पैसा, सी इसको फाइनेंस की भाषा में, अकाउंटेंसी की भाषा में हम सब बोलते हैं दिस इज एन एसेट, इट्स अ करंट एसेट, राइट? बट फाइनेंस की भाषा में यू कॉल दिस दैट माय मनी इज ब्लॉक्ड, my money is blocked, right? My money is blocked in the form of raw material, WIP, finished good, receivables. ये भाषा का difference है between accounts and finance. And the money which is blocked, उसको थोड़ा सा financing कैसे हो गया? मतलब मेरा 80 days पैसा blocked है, but 80 days में जिन लोगों को मुझे पे करना है, जैसे रॉ मटेरियल खरीदा मैंने, उनको पेमेंट करना है, जो मेरे खर्चे हो रहे हैं उनको पेमेंट करना है, उन लोग ने भी मुझे थोड़ा हेल्प दे दिया। कैसे? 40 डेज लेट पेमेंट एक्सेप्ट करके। बट फिर भी गाइस 80 माइनस 40 डेज मैं क्या करूं? व्हाट डू आई डू फॉर दीज 40 डेज? आई कांट स्टॉप द प्रोडक्शन कि जब तक कैश आएगा नहीं तब तक मैं थोड़ी फर्दर प्रोडक्शन कर सकती हूँ। आई कांट वेट फॉर दिस। देन व्हाट डू आई डू? क्या करना है मुझे? फिर मैं जाती हूँ कहां पर? आई गो डाउन टू द बैंक्स and ask them that can you lend me money for my 40 days of requirement. इसको मैं बोलती हूँ this is my operating cycle, that my operating cycle is of how many days? It is of 40 days. इसको रुपीज में कैलकुलेट करना है, करेंसी में कैलकुलेट करना है, तो ये सब चीजें जो मैंने डेज में लिखी हुई हैं उसको मैं किस फॉर्म में लिख सकती हूँ कि ओके हाउ मच मनी इज ब्लॉक्ड इन रूपी टर्म्स in the form of raw material, WIP, finished good, debtor, my trade payables. तो मुझे यही 40 डेज के बजाय उस आंसर किस में आ जाता? रुपए के टर्म्स में आ जाता। एंड मैं उतने रुपए का लोन के लिए एक बैंक में अप्लाई कर देती। नाउ हियर बैंक मुझे लोन कैसे देगा? मेरी से फॉर एग्जाम्पल लेट अस से मेरी रिक्वायरमेंट आती है 1 लाख रुपए। नाउ प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, ये जो 1 लाख रुपए की रिक्वायरमेंट है ये एक्चुअली वो गैप है, इट इज दैट गैप, राइट? तो मैं वो गैप को फिल कर रही हूँ। मतलब 80 डेज की साइकिल में 40 डेज का फंडिंग हो गया, 40 डेज में मुझे ये 1 लाख रुपए की जरूरत होगी जो मैं रुपए के फॉर्म में निकाला हुआ। तो उसकी फंडिंग के लिए, फंडिंग इन द सेंस आई कैन स्टॉप माई बिजनेस, सो आई हैव टू गो डाउन टू द बैंक। बैंक मुझे इसका लोन दे। Now how does a bank give a loan? Bank can have different parameters. One bank can be very liberal, they can be okay, ठीक है, वो बोल सकते हैं कि ठीक है, ये जो तुम्हारा 1 लाख रुपीस की तुम्हारी जो रिक्वायरमेंट है, इस 1 लाख रुपीस में से we need to understand now two terms, permanent और temporary, राइट? अभी हम लोग ने पढ़ाई करनी नहीं शुरू करी है, हम बहुत जनरल बातें कर रहे हैं। बैंकों का कहना है, इसी के लिए कमिटीज बैठी थी, उनका कहना है कि देखो जो तुम्हारी वर्किंग कैपिटल की, उनका कहना है कि देखो ये जो पूरा रिक्वायरमेंट है तुम्हारा, ये टेक्निकली एक साथ जो पैसा है, पहली बात तो इसमें से कुछ पैसा ऐसा है जो पूरे टाइम साइकिल में रहता है, मतलब वो तुमको वो कभी हाथ में आता ही नहीं। सी दिस इज देयर ओपिनियन। और तुम इसको बात को अगर समझना है, थोड़ा हम लोग इंडस्ट्री से बाहर निकल के रियल लाइफ में आते हैं, तुम अगर कुछ चीजें देखोगे, हमको लगता है ये पैसा हमारे पास आ रहा है, बट तुम ऐसा आता है, नेक्स्ट मोमेंट वो किसी चीज में दोबारा लग जाता है। आर यू गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? ओके, व्हाट एग्जाम्पल डू आई गिव यू? Let me put it like this. It's like I received 500 rupees from Mr. X. Now that 500 rupees from Mr. X जो है, मैंने उसको no, what example can I give in so that you can understand something very, very general? What do you call as permanent? See, when I say permanent, मैं इसको क्या कहना चाह रही हूँ, it's like वो कभी भी हाथ में रियलाइज नहीं होता, वो पैसा आया, वापस से बिजनेस में लग गया। You know, it's into the grilling always. It's into the grilling always. अब ऐसा चीज जो हमेशा से ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल में लगा हुआ है, Are you getting my point? मैं सेल करूंगी, सेल करने के बाद मुझे लगता है ये पैसा मेरे पास आया, लेकिन वो आया बट हाथ के आगे वापस लग गया ना। एक्चुअली 25 to 30% पैसा उनके अकॉर्डिंग इट इज डिफरेंट, राइट? इट कुड बी लाइक इतना पैसा जो है आपका पूरे टाइम, जब तक बिजनेस चलेगा तब तक आप बिजनेस करोगे, तब तक आप प्रोडक्शन करोगे, और ये पैसा आपका हमेशा ब्लॉक्ड रहेगा। ये पैसा आएगा लग जाएगा, आएगा लग जाएगा। तो कह रहे हैं आपको इसके लिए शॉर्ट टर्म लोन की क्या जरूरत है? आपका जो कहने के लिए वो करंट एसेट है, बट वो करंट एसेट है नहीं, ये एक्चुअली हमेशा ब्लॉक्ड है। तो कहते हैं इसकी जो फाइनेंसिंग है आप कहाँ से करवा सकते हो? आप लॉन्ग टर्म सोर्सेस से करवा सकते हो, जैसे कि इक्विटी, प्रेफरेंस या डेट। ये भी लॉन्ग टर्म है, ये भी लॉन्ग टर्म है। Are you understanding? See, what is very important is, अगर किसी चीज का बैलेंस रखना है, तो अगर आपका एसेट लॉन्ग टर्म है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल हाउ डू आई पुट इन, अच्छा मुझे घर खरीदना है, आई वांट टू बाय अ हाउस, ठीक है, मुझे ये घर कहाँ से खरीदना चाहिए? मुझे ये घर जो है, जो मेरे पास शॉर्ट टर्म पैसा है वहां से खरीदना चाहिए, या इसके लिए जो मेरा खुद का पैसा है, या मुझे लॉन्ग टर्म लोन लेना चाहिए उससे घर खरीदना चाहिए? हाउ शुड आई बाय माय हाउस? बिकॉज दैट्स लॉन्ग टर्म एसेट। लॉन्ग टर्म एसेट की फंडिंग हमेशा कहां से होनी चाहिए? लॉन्ग टर्म से होनी चाहिए। शॉर्ट टर्म की फंडिंग कहां से होनी चाहिए? हमेशा शॉर्ट टर्म से होनी चाहिए। इट्स लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल, मुझको पे करना है अपने रॉ मटेरियल सप्लायर को, मैं अपने रॉ मटेरियल सप्लायर को पे करने के लिए अगर मैं अपनी मशीनरी सेल करूं, कैसा लग रहा है? इज इट अ ग्रेट आइडिया? नाउ मशीनरी इज मेंट फॉर प्रोडक्शन, इट्स अ लॉन्ग टर्म एसेट, यस और नो? मैं लॉन्ग टर्म एसेट को सेल करके अपनी शॉर्ट टर्म लाइबिलिटी पूरी कर रही हूं। इज इट अ ग्रेट आइडिया? नो, इट इज नॉट अ ग्रेट आइडिया। तो ना सिंपल लॉजिक, लॉन्ग टर्म फाइनेंस मतलब लॉन्ग टर्म सोर्सेज ऑफ फाइनेंस आई शुड चूज फॉर माय लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टमेंट्स और लॉन्ग टर्म एसेट्स। दैट इज, मुझे मशीनरी खरीदनी है, मुझे बिल्डिंग खरीदनी है, मुझे प्लांट खरीदना है, आई शुड यूज लॉन्ग टर्म सोर्सेज ऑफ फाइनेंस। और मेरे को जो अपने शॉर्ट टर्म करंट एसेट्स हैं उनके लिए आई शुड चूज शॉर्ट टर्म सोर्सेज ऑफ फाइनेंस, राइट। शॉर्ट टर्म सोर्सेज ऑफ फाइनेंस कैसे हो गए, जैसे हमारे ट्रेड पेबल्स आ रहा है और शॉर्ट टर्म फाइनेंसेस, वो मेरे को एक तरीके से फाइनेंस कर रहे हैं ना, कि ठीक है हम भी 10 दिन लेट पे कर लेंगे, तो दैट्स अ काइंड ऑफ फाइनेंस। सिमिलरली मैं बैंक के पास जा सकती हूँ फॉर अ शॉर्ट टर्म फाइनेंस, दैट इज अ वर्किंग कैपिटल फाइनेंस। लेकिन बैंकों का कहना है कि आपका कुछ पोर्शन ऑफ करंट एसेट एक्चुअली शॉर्ट टर्म है ही नहीं, वो पूरे टाइम बिजनेस में इन्वेस्टेड रहता है, उसको हम परमानेंट बोलते हैं। तो वंस वी अंडरस्टैंड दिस, नाउ डिफरेंट थियरीज कम अप। एक बंदे का कहना है आप क्या करो, करंट एसेट में से करंट लायबिलिटी माइनस करो, जो आपका वर्किंग कैपिटल आए मैं उसका 75% फंडिंग करूंगा ना। दिस इज वन ओपिनियन, दिस इज वन ओपिनियन कि मैं कितना पैसा आपको दूंगा, 75%। दैट मीन्स हमने 1 लाख रुपए मांगा था, तो हमको फंडिंग कितनी होगी, 75%। ओके। दूसरा बंदा क्या कह सकता है कि नहीं 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 नहीं, दूसरा बैंक बंदा मतलब बैंक, वो क्या बोल सकता है, नहीं नहीं हम क्या करेंगे, करंट एसेट में से हम पहले आपका जितना परमानेंट अमाउंट है वो माइनस करेंगे, फिर हम करंट लायबिलिटी माइनस करेंगे, फिर जो आएगा उसका 75% आपको पे करेंगे। okay. तीसरा बंदा, नाउ दीज आर डिफरेंट थियरीज, आर यू एबल टू रिलेट टू इट? ये सब टेक्स्ट बुक्स में छपी हुई है, राइट, अलग अलग नामों से, कि कितने का आपको वर्किंग कैपिटल फाइनेंस मिलता है, राइट। और थर्ड थियरी क्या हो गई कि नहीं, आपके करंट एसेट्स में पहले परमानेंट वर्किंग कैपिटल माइनस करेंगे, फिर उसका 75% देंगे और उसमें से करंट लायबिलिटी माइनस करेंगे, फिर जो फिगर आएगी उतने का हम आपको फंडिंग करेंगे। नाउ दीज आर 3 डिफरेंट, राइट। किसने कौन सा ओपिनियन दिया, क्या था, हम इस बारे में बात करेंगे। एक बार अपने आप को ब्रीफ अप दे दें कि क्या चीज है। तो सबसे पहले मुझे समझ में आ गया कि वर्किंग कैपिटल है क्या। वर्किंग कैपिटल और कुछ नहीं है, मेरा जितना पैसा ब्लॉक्ड है करंट एसेट में, जितनी फाइनेंसिंग हो जाती है करंट लायबिलिटी से, जो बाकी बचता है वो, उसके लिए मुझे वर्किंग कैपिटल लोन चाहिए होता है। वर्किंग कैपिटल लोन लेने के लिए हम चाहते हैं तो डिफरेंट ओपिनियंस हैं, तो मुझे देखना पड़ता है कि which bank do I approach, because somebody can follow this approach, somebody can follow this approach, somebody can follow this approach. बट ये अप्रोचेस के बारे में तो हम बाद में पढ़ें। सबसे पहले डोंट यू थिंक हम वर्किंग कैपिटल कैलकुलेट कैसे होता है वो अगर निकालना सीख लें तो थिंग्स विल बी वेरी वेरी इजी फॉर अस, क्योंकि फिर हम लोग सवाल करना सीख जाएंगे। ठीक है, ये यूजुअली सबको आता होगा, इसलिए मैं इसको जल्दी जल्दी कराऊंगी, जल्दी से एक सम कराऊंगी एंड आई विल मूव अप टू डेटर मैनेजमेंट। ठीक है, सो दिस वी हैव टू डू लिटिल फास्टर। अगर आपको कोई डाउट है तो आप मुझसे पूछ लीजिए, राइट। ओके, नाउ वर्किंग कैपिटल मैनेजमेंट मुझे कैलकुलेट करना है। तो वर्किंग कैपिटल मैनेजमेंट कैलकुलेट करने के, वर्किंग कैपिटल मैनेजमेंट कह रही हूँ, वर्किंग कैपिटल कैलकुलेट करने के लिए मुझको उसको रुपी में टर्म्स में कैलकुलेट करना है या डे के टर्म्स में कैलकुलेट करना है। रुपी के टर्म्स में कैलकुलेट करना है तो एक सिंपल सी चीज, आई नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई मेरे करंट एसेट्स में कौन कौन से करंट एसेट्स होते हैं। एक होता है रॉ मटेरियल, एक होता है WIP, एक होता है फिनिश गुड, एक होता है ट्रेड रिसीवेबल। दीज आर 4 मेन आइटम ऑफ करंट एसेट्स। कैश होता है बट कैश की फिगर तो इंस्टीट्यूट अपने क्वेश्चन में देगा। नाउ इफ आई टॉक अबाउट रॉ मटेरियल, ना रॉ मटेरियल जो है, मुझे पता है कि अगर मैं पूरे साल 15,000 यूनिट्स बना के बेचती हूँ और एक यूनिट बनाने में 2 kgs लगते हैं, दैट मीन्स टोटल एनुअल रिक्वायरमेंट मेरा कितना हो गया, the units which I want to manufacture multiplied by 2 kgs. अब I need to understand, for this please go down and read your little bit of costing. Costing में आपने मटेरियल मैनेजमेंट में रीऑर्डर लेवल, मिनिमम लेवल, मैक्सिमम लेवल पढ़ा है, वहां पर आपने लीड टाइम भी पढ़ा है। ठीक है, लीड टाइम इज समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस टू अंडरस्टैंड कि मैं कितने का स्टॉक रखती हूँ। और वहीं पर कॉस्टिंग ही हमको समझाता है कि मैं कितना रिस्क हमको एफएम सिखाता है, कॉस्टिंग मुझे लीड टाइम के बारे में बताता है। तो लीड टाइम फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर मैं गुड आज रॉ मटेरियल ऑर्डर करूंगी तो एज लेस एज 6 days लगेंगे, बट एज हाई एज 15 days लगेंगे। नाउ इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन मैं किस टाइप का रिस्क लेने वाली मैनेजर हूं। इफ आई एम अ मैनेजर हु कैन टेक लोड्स ऑफ रिस्क एंड आई एम लाइक नहीं मैं सामान ऑर्डर करूंगी, I will get the saman in 6 days only. The probability of getting the saman in 6 days is 100%. I am a believer like that. तो मैं कितने दिन का स्टॉक रखना चाहूंगी? प्लीज लिंक योर कॉस्टिंग विद एफएम। कॉस्टिंग सिखाता है लीड टाइम के बारे में, एफएम सिखाता है तुमको रिस्क वेट करना सिखाता है। तो इफ आई एम अ मैनेजर जो बहुत ही लिबरल है, मैं कितने दिन का स्टॉक रखना चाहूंगी? सिर्फ 6 दिन का। क्यों? क्योंकि मेरे अकॉर्डिंग मैं जब भी ऑर्डर करूंगी 6 दिन में आ जाएगी। बट आई एम अ मैनेजर हु डज नॉट वांट टू टेक अप रिस्क, राइट? मुझे रिस्क लेना बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं है। मुझे लगता है कि यार मेरा पैसा नहीं आएगा, मेरा पैसा कह रही हूँ, मेरा रॉ मटेरियल नहीं आएगा, तो मैं कितने दिन का स्टॉक रखूंगी? आई विल कीप अ स्टॉक ऑफ 15 days। आई विल कीप अ स्टॉक ऑफ 15 days, क्योंकि 15 days इज अ मैक्सिमम टाइम पीरियड जब गुड मेरे पास आएंगे। और हम दोनों के बीच में एक ना ही इतना कंजर्वेटिव ना ही इतना लिबरल, देयर में बी अ मैनेजर हु माइट बिलीव कि 10 days ऑफ स्टॉक इज गुड इनफ। वो प्रोबेबिलिटी कैलकुलेशन करेगा और प्रोबेबिलिटी के हिसाब से उसके अकॉर्डिंग 10 days and he can take up a risk of 5%. So keeping that into mind, he will keep a stock of 10 days. Now friends, I'm linking costing with FM, and you also should link costing with FM. I hope I'm very sound and clear, because then only you will be able to appreciate all your subjects. तो मैं रॉ मटेरियल का कितना स्टॉक रखूंगी? यहाँ पर वर्किंग कैपिटल कैलकुलेट करते वक्त हम सिर्फ इतना बता देते हैं आपसे, आई वांट टू कीप अ स्टॉक ऑफ 1 month। तो तुम्हें क्या निकालना है? अगर मेरा एनुअल प्रोडक्शन 15,000 यूनिट्स है, एक यूनिट को बनाने में 2 किलो लगता है, तो मैं साल का कितना रॉ मटेरियल खरीदती हूँ? 30,000। ना 30,000 kgs अगर मुझे साल का चाहिए and I want to keep a stock of 1 month, right? तो मैं क्या करूंगी? 30,000 into 1 divided by 12, तो 1 महीने का रॉ मटेरियल स्टॉक आ जाएगा। एक रॉ मटेरियल 5 रुपए का आता है, तो कितना हो गया? 30,000 divided by 12 into 5 rupees. That becomes your value of your raw material that you want to keep. I will just write down all this. Similarly, coming up to WIP. अब मैंने आपको साइकिल बना के दिखाई थी। वर्किंग कैपिटल में बहुत बार मुझसे स्टूडेंट्स बोलते हैं कि मैम इज इट एन अजम्पशन, और हर बार मुझे 50% लेना पड़ता है लेबर ओवरहेड्स का। देखो, पहली बात तो अजम्पशन है, हाँ। बाकी क्वेश्चन जो एग्जाम में आएगा वो बहुत क्लियर होना चाहिए, उसमें लिखा होना चाहिए कि आप कितना लेबर ओवरहेड लो। बट सिंपल टर्म्स में WIP का क्या मतलब होता है? इनकम्प्लीट या अनफिनिश्ड। तो तुम्हें क्या करना है? अगर तुमको 15 days लगते हैं चीज को कंप्लीट करने में, तो बहुत सिंपल सा टाइम चीज है। रॉ मटेरियल तो 100% ही लग जाता है ना। अगर मुझे 15 दिन लगते हैं तो मैं रॉ मटेरियल तो पूरा ही डाल दूंगी ना प्रोडक्शन करने में, लेकिन वो अनफिनिश्ड क्यों हो जाता है? क्योंकि सारा काम या 100% लेबर या ओवरहेड्स उसके ऊपर अभी तक चार्ज नहीं हो पाए, क्योंकि वो कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ। तो या तो क्वेश्चन मुझे बताए कि 60% ऑफ द वर्क इज डन और 70% ऑफ द वर्क इज डन, बट 90% ऑफ द टाइम्स ऑल ऑफ यू नो कि क्वेश्चन डजंट गिव। तो मैं क्या अजम्पशन करूंगी? मैं अज्यूम करूंगी कि यार ये चीज इनकम्प्लीट इसलिए है क्योंकि सिर्फ 50% ऑफ लेबर ओवरहेड चार्जेस जो एक पूरे गुड पे लगनी चाहिए उसके बजाय 50% लगा है, और मैं अपनी WIP की कॉस्ट में कर रही हूँ। नेक्स्ट, कमिंग अप टू फिनिश गुड। फिनिश गुड का कॉस्टिंग कैसे करोगे? कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन ना। यहाँ पर एक CA स्टूडेंट को नॉर्मली मैंने देखा है एक बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम होती है कि मैम यहाँ पर मुझे प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट क्या लेना है। सी, आप सब लोग ने पढ़ाई करी हुई है, सो आई एम अज्यूमिंग दैट बिकॉज इट्स अ रिविजनरी। प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट सब बोलते हैं मैम हम एडमिन कॉस्ट लें या हम ना लें। ना, प्लीज गो बैक टू योर कॉस्ट शीट, राइट? फिर हमारे कंफ्यूजन्स थोड़े रिमूव होंगे और फिर हम सीए इंस्टीट्यूट का मटेरियल क्या कहता है उस पर स्टिक करें. सी सीए इंस्टीट्यूट ऑलवेज रिमेंबर गिव्स बेनिफिट ऑफ डाउट टू द स्टूडेंट. अगर सीए इंस्टीट्यूट ने क्वेश्चन किसी पर्टिकुलर फॉर्म में अपने टेक्स्ट बुक्स में करा है, सॉल्व किया है और स्टूडेंट ने उसी तरीके से उसको एग्जाम में सॉल्व किया है, इंस्टीट्यूट नंबर देती है. अगर इंस्टीट्यूट ने उस चीज को 2 तरीकों से सॉल्व किया है, आपने किसी भी तरीके से सॉल्व किया है, इंस्टीट्यूट आपको मार्क्स देगा. तो यूजुअली इन केस ऑफ फिनिश गुड स्टूडेंट्स का प्रॉब्लम रहता है कि मैम शुड आई टेक अप द कॉस्ट ऑफ फिनिश गुड ओनली टिल द स्टेज ऑफ फैक्ट्री या उसमें मैं एडमिन कॉस्ट भी ऐड करूं. सी टेक्निकली तो एक फिनिश गुड के कॉस्ट में एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कॉस्ट आते हैं. अपनी कॉस्ट शीट याद करो, फैक्ट्री कॉस्ट के बाद हम एडमिन कॉस्ट ऐड करते हैं, फिर हम ओपनिंग और क्लोजिंग फिनिश गुड का एडजस्टमेंट करते हैं, फिर हमारे पास कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड सोल्ड आता है, फिर हम सेलिंग एक्सपेंसेस ऐड करके कॉस्ट ऑफ सेल्स निकालते हैं. दैट मीन्स एक कॉस्ट ऑफ फिनिश गुड में ऑल द एक्सपेंसेस till admin stage are there. But yes, 1 or 2 questions have been solved wherein the cost has been taken up only till the factory stage. You can do it either ways. But according to me, till the admin stage, you get the cost of finished good. I hope I'm very clear. So, finished good mein, why am I multiplying with cost of finished good? Because cost of production, because wahi paisa mera blocked hai. अगर मैं साल की 15,000 यूनिट्स बनाती हूँ और मुझे लगता है कि मुझे 1 मंथ का स्टॉक रखना चाहिए, तो मैं क्या करूंगी? 15,000 इज माय एनुअल प्रोडक्शन इनटू 1/12 इनटू माय कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन. लेट्स से माय कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन इज 12, मैं मल्टीप्लाई बाय 12 कर दूंगी. ठीक है. नाउ डेटर्स. डेटर्स बहुत सिंपल है, कितनी तुम क्रेडिट सेल्स करते हो. नाउ यहाँ पर नेक्स्ट चीज, मैम क्रेडिट सेल्स में मुझे सेलिंग प्राइस पे लेना चाहिए या मुझे कॉस्ट ऑफ सेल्स पे लेना चाहिए. तो प्लीज फ्रेंड्स, देयर आर 2 ways of calculating working capital. One is cash cost method and one is normal. If institute is silent, if institute is not saying anything, तो आप नॉर्मली क्रेडिट सेल्स इनटू नंबर ऑफ मंथ्स जो आपका क्रेडिट पीरियड है डेटर का डिवाइडेड बाय 12 जो भी आपको दिया हुआ है इनटू द सेलिंग प्राइस. बट अगर मैं आपसे बोलती हूँ कि आपको कैश कॉस्ट निकालना है, तो 2 जगह फर्क आता है. पहला फर्क आता है डेटर की फिगर में और दूसरा फर्क आता है फिनिश गुड में. क्योंकि फिनिश गुड में भी जो आपका कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन होता है, अगर उसके अंदर डेप्रिसिएशन की फिगर है, क्योंकि अगर मैंने तुमसे कैश कॉस्ट ऑफ वर्किंग कैपिटल निकालने के लिए बोला है, दैट मीन्स द ओनली थिंग विच आई वांट यू टू डू इज डेप्रिसिएशन इज नॉट कैश. डेप्रिसिएशन से कैश आउटफ्लो नहीं होता. तो तुम्हें क्या करना है कि फिनिश गुड की भी जब वैल्यू निकालनी है तो उसमें से प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट में अगर 1 रुपए का डेप्रिसिएशन इंक्लूडेड है तो उसको हटा देना है. मतलब तुम कैलकुलेशन कैसे करोगे? एनुअल प्रोडक्शन इनटू नंबर ऑफ मंथ्स यू वांट टू कीप द स्टॉक इनटू प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट में से लेस डेप्रिसिएशन. अब जब कैश कॉस्ट है तो लॉजिकल सी बात है कि डेटर की फिगर भी आप कैसे कैलकुलेट करोगे? डेटर की फिगर में से आपको डेप्रिसिएशन तो हटाना ही हटाना है, इवन प्रॉफिट हटाना है, क्योंकि प्रॉफिट थोड़ी ब्लॉक्ड है तुम्हारा. ठीक है. तो तुम्हें क्या करना है, अगर फॉर एग्जांपल सेलिंग प्राइस 20 दिया हुआ है और तुम्हारा प्रॉफिट उसमें 5 है और उसमें 2 रुपए का डेप्रिसिएशन है, तो तुम डेटर की फिगर कैसे निकालोगे? तुम डेटर की फिगर को निकालते वक्त एनुअल सेल्स, एनुअल क्रेडिट सेल्स इनटू द क्रेडिट पीरियड इनटू नॉट मल्टीप्लाई बाय 20. तुम उस 20 में से 5 रुपीज का प्रॉफिट हटाओगे और डेप हटाओगे. So that comes out to be 5 माइनस कर दोगे और 2 माइनस कर दोगे. ठीक है. तो तुम किससे मल्टीप्लाई करोगे? 13 से मल्टीप्लाई करोगे and you will get out with your working capital, right? Do you want me to write this? Because all of us know how to do it. So can I directly do a sum so that we are able to कि हाँ हमने एक working capital का sum कर लिया तो हमारा रिविजन हो गया. Please, all of you, do you want me to directly do a sum or do you want me to tell me? Anybody? Can we directly do a sum? Can we directly do a sum, guys? Yeah, directly a sum. Thank you so much, John. So I directly do a sum. Okay. So let me search for a sum. Give me 2 minutes. Okay. So, okay. Okay. I share the screen with you. Actually, I've done a mistake. I should have scanned my sum and shown it to you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, now write down sum. There is a company. I'll just dictate the important figures. So there is MNP Limited. Is planning to expand its business and consulted to prepare an estimated working capital statement. The records of the company reveal the following annual information. Sales की figure है domestic. I'm writing D for domestic. Domestic में they give 1 month credit, 1 month credit period. Yeah. And the amount is 24 lakhs. Okay, then they have export. Export में they give 3 months credit. Okay, so I'm not writing full months, I'm writing 3 months, and I'm writing C for the credit. 3 months credit, and that is 10,80,000. I'm not doing a simple sum, very simple sum, right? Though it's not a difficult sum also. ये वाला part easy रहता है. Sale price 10% below domestic price. Sale price 10% below domestic price. DP लिख रही हूँ, domestic price. Okay. Then you have got material used. Material आपका कितना है? उसमें material use is 9 lakhs. Now friends, material में please, the creditors are giving me 2 months credit. Creditors are giving me 2 months of credit. Okay. Now we have got wages. Now wages का amount है 7,20,000. 7.2 lakhs. ये मेरा फेवरेट सम है. यूजुअली जब मैं अपनी क्लासेस में अगर वर्कशॉप लेती हूँ तो ये सम यूजुअली हम क्लास में नहीं करवाते हैं. हम यूजुअली इसको मैं जो टेस्ट लेना पसंद करती हूँ स्टूडेंट को, इस तरीके का सम डालना पसंद करती हूँ. तो वेजेस हाफ मंथ का टाइम लैग है, राइट? हाफ मंथ टाइम लैग है. ठीक है. सो द टाइम लैग इज हाफ अ मंथ. ओके. The time lag is half a month. This is 7.2 lakhs. All the figures like that. Okay, next. आपका मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एक्सपेंसेस हैं आपके. मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एक्सपेंसेस हैं आपका 10,80,000. पहले मैं इसमें लैग ऑफ टाइम पीरियड लिख दूं. 1 मंथ. 1 मंथ का लैग है. सो लैग इन पेमेंट ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एक्सपेंसेस कैश 1 मंथ है. ऐसा क्यों लिखा है इंस्टीट्यूट ने, मुझे नहीं पता. ये ICI का सम है. 10.8 lakhs. सो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एक्सपेंसेस 1 मंथ टाइम लैग ब्रैकेट में है कैश. द अमाउंट इज 10,80,000. देन आई गिव यू एडमिन एक्सपेंसेस, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन एक्सपेंसेस. इसमें भी 1 मंथ का टाइम लैग है. 1 मंथ का टाइम लैग है. The amount happens to be 2.4 lakhs. Then we have got sale promotion expenses. Sale promotion expenses, and these are in advance. Quarterly advance. Quarterly का मतलब आप सब लोग समझते हैं, quarterly advance. It is quarterly advance, and the amount happens to be 1.5 lakhs. And then we have got income tax payable in 4 installments, of which one falls in the next financial year. Income tax payment. Income tax payment. Income tax payment. It's a kind request for the convenience of all students to understand easily. Please teach in English. Gokulan, I very well understand what you're trying to say. Yes, but whole thing is that there are a lot of people from other parts of the country wherein they are not very pally with Hindi, with English. So what I'll do is I'll speak everything in English and then I'm going to reiterate the same thing in Hindi. I think that will make sense, right, Gokulan? So I'll speak everything in English and then I'm going to reiterate the same thing in Hindi. Okay. So income tax payable in 4 installments. Income tax is payable. How? It is payable in 4 installments. Good, you told me, Gokulan. Income tax is payable in 4 installments, of which one falls in the next financial year. In the next financial year. Okay. And the amount happens to be 2.25 lakhs. Okay. Now, rate of gross profit is GP rate. Your gross profit rate happens to be 20%. Okay. Now, please, they are saying ignore WIP. You can ignore WIP and depreciation. So ignore WIP. Ignore WIP. Sorry. Ignore WIP and depreciation. And the company keeps 1 month stock of raw material. Now I give you some more information regarding this sum. They say, please keep 1 month stock of raw material. So raw material stock, how much do you need? आपको कितने दिन का raw material stock चाहिए? How much raw material stock do you need? You need 1 month of stock. You need 1 month of stock. Okay. M is stock for me. 1 month of stock you need. Finished good also you need 1 month stock. Finished good also you require 1 month. And and it believes in keeping 250,000 available to it, including overdraft limit of 75,000 not yet utilized by the company. So I hope the question is very, very clear. The company keeps 1 month stock of raw material and finished good and believes keeping how much in the form of OD, they are saying, and it believes in keeping 250,000 available to it, including the overdraft limit of 75,000 not utilized by the company. So basically, cash in hand, which they are wanting, should be 250,000. So this is the English which I'm interpreting for you, right? So when they say 250,000 is what they want to keep, so 250,000 is what is the cash which they want to keep, in which 75,000 is in the form of overdraft. Management is also of the opinion to make 12% margin. So there is a margin required for contingencies of 12%. 12% contingency margin. Now, guys, I am giving all students who are studying along with me to solve this question so that I know that you understand. मैं आपको 3 questions करवाऊंगी, मेरे 3 favorite questions, so that we understand working capital. So on a quick note, do this question for me. This is my requirement, raw material and finished good. I need 1 month in stock, I need to keep a contingency of 12%, right, on the computed figure. That's what they are saying. And they've also said that you need a cash requirement of 2,50,000, out of which 75,000 is in the form of overdraft, which is still unutilized. I'm giving all of you 5 minutes. Please give me the answer, please, faster. Now I know my answer will reach later to you. So till then, all of you are solving, right? Till then, I start solving. The heading of the question would be calculation of working capital needs. The heading would be calculation of working capital requirement of MNP Limited. Yes. Please अपना presentation पर बहुत ध्यान देना. Please keep lot of emphasis on your presentation. Lot of people are very casual when they're writing the paper in the examination hall. Please don't be very casual, right? Now you are doing it, I'm doing it here. Check your answer, okay? Now, sales. The first figure which is given to me, they are saying sales. When they say 1 month credit period and exports 3 months credit period, that means it is indicating what? It is indicating, the sales are indicating to me the figures of receivables, or can I write down debtors? And this is, I am writing domestic for this 1 month, and this for export, I will write E. So for domestic, how much is the sales? The total sales is 24 lakh. Now the question is silent. The question is silent. What do I need to do? Can I calculate this on 24 lakhs, which is the sales figure? Or I can do one thing. Can I remove the gross profit figure from it? See, technically, when they have deliberately written, ignore WIP and depreciation, I would always from my side suggest that please calculate the debtor figure on the cost of debtors, right? Though they have not written that calculate cash cost of working capital. But I am saying it from my experience that when they have written see, there was no need for them to write ignore WIP and depreciation. When they have not given me, I am very well ignoring. But when they're writing this, right, that means they expect that you guys calculate your sales figure on cost, right? So from my 24 lakhs, which is the sale figure, can I reduce the GP margin? The GP margin happens to be 20%. So if I take out the GP margin, my sales figure would be 19.2 lakhs. Yes, 19.2 lakh. What is the credit period? Credit period is 1 month divided by 12. Now, second most important thing, in whatever manner ICI is giving you, if they write month, you calculate in months, means 1 month means divided by 12. If I write here 30 days, then please make it a point to do 30 divided by 365 days. If I give you in weeks, if I write here 4 weeks, then please write down 4 weeks divided by 52 weeks. Please look at the question and look how ICI has given you information. Besides, if at all ICI will give you question in the form of days or weeks, please look for an information which ICI will furnish, assume so and so number of days in a year or assume so many weeks. Please do not ignore this information. I have seen a lot of students not reading the question properly, solving it up, and then they're realizing, oh, ICI had written assume 360 days in a year. Don't do that. You have enough time in the examination. Anyways, so 19.2 into 1 divided by 12. This is already in rupees. I don't need to multiply it by rupee. What does the figure come out to be? It comes out to be 1.6 lakhs. Then my data for exports, I think you can do that. Now for export, What will be the figure? First of all, they have written in the question 10,80,000 and they are charging 10% below the domestic price. So first, in order to directly subtract the GP rate, I'll have to first bring this figure to the normal price and then deduct 20%, because this 20% GP is the normal GP that they charge on all their sales. Okay, now some students can say, ma'am, can we calculate 10,80,000 pay 10% directly? And can I get the question right? Try doing it. Are you getting my point? I've written the questions. Export 3-month ka credit hai, 10,80,000 is the amount. And I've written specifically sale price is 10% below the domestic price. What I have found students doing, what they have done, they have taken out 10,80,000 mein se they deduct. They say GP rate becomes 10% lesser because the price is 10% lesser. So what do my beautiful students do? They do 10,80,000 minus 10% and that becomes the cost. Try to do it and see, do you get the same answer? And you'll realize you'll not get the same answer. Why? Because this GP rate is on sales, right? And this figure, this selling price is 10% below the normal selling price, right? So first, I need to find out the normal selling price. This is a mathematical hitch. I don't know how to explain this, but this is a mathematical hitch. You will not get out with the same figures. So what do you need to do? You need to first bring this 10,80,000 to the normal figures, that is divided by 90 into 100. So it comes out to be 12 lakhs. From this 12 lakhs, what do you need to do? What do you need to do? You need to deduct 20%. Okay. So how much is it? It comes out to be 9.6 lakhs. Then you please multiply with 3 divided by 12. What is the figure that you get? What is the figure that you get? It comes out to be 2.4 lakhs. $2.4 lakhs. Right? Next, friends, what is the next current asset I have? Raw material. I need to keep an inventory of raw material. How much do I need to keep? I need to keep 1 month's stock. So how do I calculate my yearly requirement? Look at it. They have already given how much raw material do I buy. I buy 9 lakhs. So into 1 divided by 12. How much is it? How much is it? 9 into 1 divided by 12. This comes out to be 75,000. So can I write this as 0.75? Oh God. Okay. Next, I need to keep an inventory of finished good as well. Okay. Now, what will be the value of finished good, guys? What will be the value of finished good? What will be the value of finished goods? I know the value of my total sales. Can you see that? I have assumed all the sales to be on credit and this cost I've calculated. So can I add this up? Because this is my total cost of goods that I've sold. Yes or no? I don't have any other figure. So on what figure do I calculate my finished good cost? Tell me, what do I do? What do I do? Can I add up 19.6 plus 9.6, which is coming out to be how much? Sorry, 19.2 plus 9.6, which comes out to be 28,80,000. No, beta. For finished good, I've written 1 month. And for raw material also, I've written 1 month. Material is for 2 months. No, Chandra, I've written raw material 1 month. Can you see it? I've written 1 month. I've not written 2 months, bacha. Now this 2 months, I got it. Look at it. I was reading it again and again. This is the time lag in payment to materials. And look at it. This is the raw material stock. Do not get confused. Please, Vandana, Rupal, Chandrabhal, everybody notice what I'm saying. This is the stock which I'm maintaining, raw material stock, finished good stock. The stock which I maintain is a current asset. Here, this 2 months is indicating what? This is a time lag in me paying the suppliers. So this is a credit period which the suppliers give to me, dear. Yeah. So it is 1 month. Yeah. These are normal errors. See, this is the reason why I chose this. These are normal things which I get across. Everybody knows how to do calculation, but somewhere something goes wrong. Anyways, now finished good. Finished good, usually what do? We go by annual production. But I don't have annual production. I only know what is my annual sales which I have done. And what is the cost of that annual sales, which is 28.8 lakhs. Okay. Now some students say, ma'am, why can't I add up all this? Okay. Try adding this 9 lakhs of raw material plus 7.2 plus 10.8 plus 2.4 and plus 1.5. You'll realize this is coming out to be 30.9. If you add up all the cost. Right? Now why? Why? Usually when we do the formula of finished good, we go by cost of goods produced and how many goods I want to keep a stock on. How many goods I want to keep a stock on. But when I am calculating finished good here, I will do it like this. I'll take up the total value of goods which I've sold, which is 28.8 lakhs. You add up 19.2 plus 9.6, which comes out to be 28.8 lakhs. And you want to keep a stock of how many days? Into 1 divided by 12. Can you tell me why didn't I take up all this? Why couldn't I have added up all this? Material, wages, I can add this up and just calculate the cost of it. Now these are payments which I have done, or these are the total material which I've used. Yes. Now these are the total materials or total wages which I've paid. There's a time lag involved. Now these figures which has been given to me, these are the yearly payments which I have done, or these are the expenses. I don't know. But I definitely know that what is my annual cost. ये मैंने बहुत students को परेशान होते देखा है कि मैम how do I calculate my finished good? They have a tendency to add this up. Because normally आप जब sum करते हो आपको ऐसे ही लिखा होता है annual production into number of months का, तो आप बोलते हो मैम it is not on the basis of goods sold, it is on the basis of goods produced. Right? But the line here in general was material used. Okay, lag in payment, 7.2 lakh yearly payment. Manufacturing expenses. They have given me lag in payment of manufacturing expenses. Cash, which is 1 month. Now the thing is, if you actually look at it, what does it mean? They said lag in payment of manufacturing expenses cash. इसको भी मुझे discover करना है इनका मतलब क्या था. Right? Anyways, so anybody wants to ask anything from me here? Anybody wants to ask, ma'am 28.8 ki jagah, why can't we add up all the figures? Do you want to ask me? Are you convinced or you're not convinced? ये बहुत एक normal चीज है जो हम face करते हैं कि when we have to calculate the cost of finished good, the cost of finished good which is being calculated, it is always on the basis of finished goods produced. It is always on the basis of finished good produced. Understood? Yes, Chandrapal. Okay, thank you. So 28.8 I'm taking up. I can't take up these figures. Okay, I'll do one more sum which will make it more clear. Okay, how much this amount comes out to be, guys? 28.2. This comes out to be 2.4 lakhs. Okay. Now, how much cash do I need to keep? How much cash do I need to keep? If 2.5 lakhs is what I need to keep and 75,000 is in the form of overdraft, that means cash requirement would be how much? 2.5 lakhs minus 75,000. which comes out to be 1.75 lakhs. This comes out to be 1.75 lakhs. Now, what is my total current assets? Total current assets, kitne hai mere? Can I add up all of them? 1.6 lakhs plus 2.4 lakhs plus 75,000 plus 24,500 plus 1 lakh. Anything which I've missed? Anything which I've missed? Okay, Ronak, you want me to explain this again? Beta, normally when you are doing finished good calculation, when you're doing a calculation of finished good, you'll actually look at the formula which you people normally write. For doing a finished good calculation, it is always written like this, that you need to find out the cost of finished good. Or what do? You take up annual requirement into number of months ka stock into the production cost of 1 unit of raw material. So usually a student comes up to me and says, Ki ma'am, why have you calculated this finished good ka figure on the basis of this? See, this figure 19.2 plus 9.6 is the total of my sales which I have done. Uska cost hai. This is the cost of my sales. So this is cost of goods sold. Right? Now, the English which is written here is, the company keeps 1 month's stock of raw material and finished good each. That's the only line, right? Now, why am I calculating on 28.8? Why couldn't I have added up all these figures and just found out the cost, right? So I said, if I add up all these expenses, that is 9 plus 7.2 plus 10.8 plus 2.4. It comes out to be 29.4. Look at it. 9 plus 7.2 plus 10.8 plus 2.4. It comes out to be 29.4. If you'll add up all the cost till your admin cost. And if you remember, there was a line there, lag in payment of manufacturing expenses, cash, dash 1 month. Now, I do not know this manufacturing expenses. Is it the whole? Then they are asking me below that, ignore depreciation. I can't take up these figures. I do not know that that this figure which I've got out, 10.8, is it the total figure? Is it including depreciation? Is it not including depreciation? I don't know. Yes or no? They're just saying cash, right? But then when I total it up, it comes out to be 29.4. Yes or no? So on a safer side, what am I doing it? I don't have the figure for depreciation. I don't have anything. What is the best thing for me to do? I know the cost of sales which is there for me. I can calculate my finished good on that. So I have done my 28.8 lakh, which is a total of 19.2 plus 9.6, which comes out to be 28.8. Normal चीज है, student का intention होगा इसको add करने का, right? So I hope Ronak, I'm clear. Yes, you are right. We have not done sale promotion expenses. Sale promotion expenses are quarterly. That means if 1,50,000 is for the whole year, then how much for 3 months into 3? So this comes out to be 1.5 lakhs into 3 divided by 12. You understood? Thank you so much, Ronak. So do not do these small mistakes, nothing else. Yes? 0.375. So my total current assets now, total current asset ka figure is how much? Total current asset figure is 9.275 lakhs. 9.275 lakhs. Now guys, I can subtract my current liabilities. I subtract my current liabilities. Now for subtracting my current liabilities, now I will start taking this. Now material, how much? What is the time lag? It is 2 months. So how will I calculate? 9 lakhs into 2 months divided by 12. How much is it? It comes out to be 1,50,000, 1.5 lakhs. Now coming up to my wages. Wages is how much? Half a month time lag. So it is 7.2 lakhs into half a month, into half a month, and of course divided by 12. This gives me how much? 30,000. 0.3, 30,000. Then we have got manufacturing expenses. Manufacturing expenses, which is 10.8. What is the time lag? There is a time lag of 1 month. So into 1 divided by 12. This comes out to be 90,000.9. Then besides manufacturing expenses, I have got admin expenses as well. There is a time lag of 1 month there as well. So this is 2.4 into 1 divided by 12. This comes out to be 20,000. Okay. Anything else left? What about income tax? Should I take it or should I not take it up? Should I take up income tax or should I not take up? A lot of people start thinking in the form of costing. I do not know why. We are doing finance. So we are supposed to take up income tax. Why should I ignore it? Yes or no? Now, income tax is a liability because I've got a time lag of 3 months because it is falling. It's in 4 quarters. So it is 2. Let me write it down here. Income tax. So it will be how much? 2.25 comes out to be how much? 2.25. They're saying it's in 4 installments. 2.25. 4 installments, it is 0.5625. Yes. Now what do? You subtract from your current assets your current liability. So how much was your current assets figure? Your current assets figure was 9.275. You subtract from it. I don't have place here. I subtract the total of all my current liabilities. The total of all my current liabilities is going to be 3.4625. Yes, if you add up all this, 1.5 lakhs, 30,000, 90,000, 20,000, 56,250. If you're going to add this up, this is going to be the figure. So what do I get my working capital figure as? It comes out to be 5,81,250. And on this now you are going to add a contingency reserve of 12%. You are going to add up a contingency reserve of 12%. Please calculate 5,81,250, add 12%, and you are going to get out with your working capital requirement. You'll be getting out with your working capital requirement. Okay. Now from this sum, I tried to explain those small things. Jo lagta hai ki yaar, we should have done this sum in a particular manner, and it doesn't happen our way, right? A tendency to do a mistake, right? Please don't do that. Now, I give you another sum, which is a simple sum, but I really like that sum, right? Again, for the purpose of calculation, I really like that sum, right? This sum has come down in 2014. It is May CA IPCC 2014. This particular sum has come down, and it is there in your textbooks. You can actually look at this sum. I'm doing this sum for you. Okay. Okay. Now I like this sum. Right? You people should do these two sums, and your whole, what you can say, working capital requirement concept gets clear. But before I do this sum, I would like to talk about double shift working. That is, if I work double shift, that is, if I do double shift, then what happens? What happens? All the current asset, whatever I'm doing, my requirements and everything will become double. But only thing which will not become double will be the stock. I think earlier it used to be something very, very important, but I think now this is not something very, very big a concept. ICI has made it very clear in its textbook, written it that if it is a double shift, what happens. So please read ICI material essentially. Okay. I'm giving you this sum. I really like it, right? Again, as I said, all these sums I use when I take up the workshop in my class. That is end moment revision, doing 2 sums or 3 sums, and you are able to hit the exam. So I'm giving you this information. Raw material per unit price is 98. Now, please understand, these questions I'm not saying you're going to get in the examination. Please understand, doing 2-3 of these sums make your fundamentals about a particular topic very clear. Now, you don't have a lot of time to do 10 sums or 12 sums, but doing these 2 sums will do the needful. This is 98 rupees per unit. Yeah, this is per unit. Okay. Then I have got direct labor. My labor cost is 53 per unit again. It is 53 per unit. Okay. Then I'm giving you factory overhead. I'm giving you factory overhead. Factory overhead is 88 per unit. Now in this factory overhead, I have something to tell you. It includes depreciation. It includes depreciation at the rate of 15 per unit at budgeted level capacity. At budgeted level capacity. Now, friends, your costing has to be good. Your costing has to be very clear. There are some students who have done costing with me in the virtual classes, right, of the institute. Anyways, when you're doing costing, please study with a lot of open mind. And we say, okay, costing is in group 1, FM is in group 2. All our subjects, everything is related. What we do in accounts, our understanding, it really helps us in doing or understanding a lot of things about audit, right? What we do in law definitely helps us in audit. All subjects are related. So I'm saying depreciation, which is included, is at the rate of 15 at budgeted level of capacity. Okay, so my total cost is, I add up all this, my total cost happens to be 98 plus 53 plus 88, which comes out to be 239. Yes? Now I add up the profit here. Technically, I would not like to solve this sum. I'm taking a test of you guys technically. If you solve this for me, I'll be very happy. selling price 239 plus 43 comes out to be 282. This is my selling price. Now this is what is the first information which I've given to you. Now I'm giving you certain additional information. I'm giving you average raw material in stock, 3 weeks. So RM stock, raw material in stock is 3 weeks. Yes. So you understand all information is in weeks. So I'll be now writing only W. Now WIP. WIP is percentage of completion with respect to material. I am specifically telling you percentage of completion with respect to material. I'm specifically giving you 75%. And with respect to labor and overheads, I am telling you labor and overheads is 70%. Okay, guys, you can get this sum in CA IPCC May 2014 attempt. May 2014 attempt. So you can just open up the PDF, look at the exam sum, and you can do it along with me. Okay, this is 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I said I will not write weeks pura. I'm writing W. Weeks. Then I am saying finished good, WFG, finished good stock is 4 weeks. Then I'm writing credit allowed to debtors. Credit allowed to debtors happens to be 2.5 weeks, 2.5 weeks. That's a credit allowed to debtors. Then credit allowed by creditors. Credit allowed by creditors happens to be 3.5 weeks, 3.5 weeks. Then I give you time lag in payment of factory overhead. I repeat, time lag in payment of factory overheads is 1.5 weeks. And similarly, time lag in paying wages happens to be 2 weeks. Time lag in paying wages happens to be 2 weeks. Company sells 25% of the output against cash. Company sells 25% of the output in cash. So 25% is in cash. The balance 75% is in credit. So the company asks 75%, or I'm just writing 25% cash. Okay. And then they've said cash in hand and bank desired to be maintained is 2.25 lakh. Cash to be maintained is 2.25 lakhs. And we are supposed to maintain 4% of working capital requirement, including that provision. So the line is provision for contingencies required is 4% of working capital requirement, including that provision. Look at the English. The provision which I'm required to keep for contingencies is 4% of working capital requirement, including that provision. So I hope what it means when I'm calculating. You may assume that production is carried out evenly throughout the year and labor and factory overheads are similarly. You are supposed to prepare a statement showing estimate of working capital needed to finance a budgeted activity level of 104,000. That is 104,000 units of production. Finished goods stock overheads are taken at cash cost. Now here ICAI is being very clear that you need to calculate working capital for me on cash cost basis. Estimation of working capital requirement karna hai for how many units? 104,000 units. Can we start doing it? Can we start doing the sum? Okay. So, yeah, I start doing the sum. Estimation of working capital requirement. Working capital requirement. Okay. So, first thing, raw material. How much raw material do I need to keep? If I need to produce, this is a normal way in which every student is taught in the classes. Raw material 1,04,000 units I need to produce. For producing 1 unit, I do not know, but I know the raw material price. And I know for how many months or weeks I need to keep the inventory. I need to keep it for 3 weeks. Okay. So into 3 weeks divided by 52 weeks into 98. Now guys, I will not be writing the whole figure because I will be just directly writing the figures, right? So I'll be speaking orally and then writing the figures. Okay. So this comes out to be 5,88,000. So I'm writing out as 5.8, 5.88, 5.88 lakhs. The figures up are in lakhs. They are in lakhs. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Okay, coming here. Now WIP. WIP, I'll calculate for you. How much raw material I need? I need 1,04,000. 1,04,000 into how many weeks of raw material do I need? 2 weeks. So 2 divided by 52. But how much? 75% of it. So I'll have to further multiply it by 75%. So can I write down 0.75? And I'll have to multiply this with the price again. Again, in the sense, in order to find out the price. So what will be the value? The value is going to be 2.94. 2,94,000. Now in this, I'm going to add up the labor overhead. Labor overhead, which is how much? Labor overhead, again, you're going to calculate 1,04,000 into 2 weeks. I need to add up the labor overhead. Now, since they've asked me to do cash cost, so what is it that I'm going to calculate? I'm going to take up 53. I'm going to take up 53 plus 53 plus, I'm not going to add up 88. I'm going to reduce depreciation from it. So plus 88 minus 15. So this comes out to be how much? 126. Why did I do that? Because ICI is wanting me to do that. Right? And how much do I need to take up? 70%. So again, into 0.7. Yes. I am not doing 50%. Normally, you people have an habit of taking 50% if nothing is given in the question. But here, the question was very clear that please take material to the extent of 75%. Please take labor overheads to the extent of 70%. So please stick to it. Right? Why did I take up 126? Please add up your cost. 98 is the material. 53 is the labor. 88 is the overheads. 53 plus 88, which is 141. But from this, I'm going to subtract depreciation, which is 126 is the figure which I get. So I multiply with the same and I get out with my answer to be 2 lakh, 3,52,000. 3,52,800. So on a technical note, my total figure of WIP is how much? I need to add both the figures. So my total figure is 2.94 for material and labor overhead 3.528. This comes out to be 6,46,800. 6.468. $6.468. Now I think my sum is done. Ab kuch nahi hai. I think all of you can do that. Finished good. How much do I need to keep? 1,04,000. I'm not writing it up. 1,04,000. How many weeks? Into 4 divided by 52 weeks. Into what is the cost which I'm going to take up? I will not take up the cost to be 239. I would subtract from 239. I'm going to subtract 15. So I will take up 224. So figure comes out to be 17,92,000. So can I write it as 17.92? 17,92,000. Right? How have I done it? It is 1,04,000 into 4 divided by 52 weeks into 224. Now, next, I need to calculate my debtors. Debtors, how much is it going to be? It is again 1,04,000 is the yearly requirement, right? How much credit am I going to give them? It is going to be 2.5 lakh weeks divided by 52 weeks into what do I calculate on? What do I calculate on? 224 was my cost. Yes or no? 224 was my cost. Do I calculate it on 224 or do I need to do something more about it? Anything else? Anything else? Can I directly do it with 224? I repeat, debtors. What do I need to do? Explain labor overhead again, Vandana. Labor overhead, 1,04,000 units I'm manufacturing. What is the period? What is the period for your WIP? Look at it. You keep an inventory for WIP for 2 weeks. I'd given in the question. So I multiplied by 2 weeks divided by 52. They have given you that 70% is blocked in the form of labor overhead. So I multiplied it by 70%, that is 0.7. And what is the cost do I multiply with? Labor cost is 53, overhead cost is 88. Please add 53 plus 88, but that is including depreciation. So please subtract depreciation. So you will get out with 224. Multiply with 224, Vandana. That's what I did. 126. I subtracted 15, so it was coming out to be how much? 53 was my wages plus 88, which is coming out to be 141. From there, I subtracted 15, which was the depreciation. So I got out with 126. So debtor, I'll simply calculate how much? 1,04,000 into what is the credit period? 2.5 divided by 52. Now it is cash cost. So I will simply multiply it by 224 because I know the cash cost. Yes or no? So the figure comes out to be 1,04,000 into 4 divided by 52 into 224. This comes out to be 17,92,000. Something is wrong. 1,04,000 into 2.5 weeks divided by 52 weeks into 224. Okay, this comes out to be 11,20,000. Do I need to do something else? Is this figure correct? This 11,20,000, can I take up this whole figure or do I need to take only 75% of it? Do I need to take only 75% of it? I'll have to take up only 75% of it because they have very clearly told me that my cash sales are 25%. So this gives me a figure of 8.4 lakhs. So my debtor figure is on cost. How did I calculate it? 1,04,000 into 2.5 weeks divided by 52 weeks into 224, which is the cost, cash cost of the sales. Why did I multiply it by 75%? Because they have told you in the question that 25% are cash sales. Okay. I need to keep a balance of cash of 2.25 lakhs, 2.25 lakhs. Now, friends, I have the total figure of my current assets, which is nothing but, if I add up all of them, it will be 40.918. Yes. Now from this, I'm going to subtract my money, which is blocked in the form of current liabilities. What is my current liabilities? It is creditors. I think all of you can do it for me faster on this. Creditors ka time period is how much? It is 1,04,000 into the credit period is 3.5 weeks divided by 52 weeks into what is the price? 98. So my figure comes out to be 6.86. Similarly, you can do for me wages. Similarly, you can do for me wages. It is going to be 1,04,000 into the time lag for payment into 2 divided by 52 weeks. How much do I pay my workers? 53. So this comes out to be 2,12,000. So can I write down 2.12? Then we have got overheads. Overhead payments is 1.5 lakh. 5 weeks is the time lag. When I'll take it up, I will not take up 88. I'll subtract 15 from it. So it will be 73. So when you will calculate, the figure will come out to be 2.19. Now, please subtract from your current assets, total current asset, please subtract all the current liabilities. You will get out with net working capital, which is how much? This is coming out to be, first of all, please subtract 40.918 minus 6.86 minus 2.12 minus 2.19. This comes out to be 29.748. 29.748. Now, guys, look at it. They have already told me that you need to create a contingency of 4%. Now, this contingency of 4% needs to be added on this. So what do I do? Do I add 29.748 plus 4%? Should I do that directly? 29.748%. Can I just add up 4% on it? Do I get it? Or does it mean that this is equivalent to 96%? 29.748 divided by 96 into 100. Do I get out with a different figure? Please tell me. What do I do? They have told me a line wherein they have said that provision for contingency is required at the rate of 4% of working capital requirement, including that provision. Including that provision. What does that mean? It simply means that you need to add 4% for contingency. Simple. It does not mean that the figure 29.748% includes contingency. This is equivalent to 96, so what is going to be 100? A lot of people do that. No, Rupal. Look at the English. This is anyways my current asset minus current liability, bacha. This is anyways that figure. Yes. Or you want to say that 29.748 is nothing but my net working capital. I need to add 4% on it. Because this English in log ne directly ke bajaye, they've just written the line like this. Provision for contingency required at the rate of 4% of working capital requirement, including that provision. तो usually हमारे दिमाग में मन आता है कि including that provision का मतलब वो amount included है. इसका मतलब जो तुम्हारी working capital requirement है वो 96% होगी, right? But बेटा this 29.748 में अभी 4% add करूंगी तब तो मेरी working capital requirement आएगी. Yes or no? This line is just for confusion. This is not like वो managerial commission हम करते हैं ना, before and after considering such commission, वैसा नहीं है. You'll have to keep into mind the English. The English is very clear. You just have to add plus 4%. I hope I am sounding clear. It was plus. Okay, so my working capital need comes out to be very correct, Ronak. It is 30,98,750. Now, guys, this working capital requirement, I have done it in rupee terms. Similarly, I could have done this working capital requirement in the form of days. I could have done this in the form of days. Yes. In this, when you do it in the form of days, you'll have to do what? Raw material holding period. I think all of us, most of us are well versed with how to calculate, holding period and everything. So I'm actually not taking up a sum from there because I usually don't find any student doing a garbad in that. Still, if you want to do a sum, you can refer to May 2015 CA IPCC. There is a proper sum which is given to you. You can actually refer to it, right? I am actually not doing a sum of operating cycle, right? I am assuming that you know. If you do not know it, you want me to do a sum of operating cycle or explain it to me, you can write it on the comment section and I will explain it to you. Now I would like to take up actually receivable management, which is very, very important from examination point of view, which comes in the examination. A definite sum comes in the examination. I need to be very clear about debtor management. I need to be very clear with respect to factoring, right? Then my work is done with respect to working capital management. So is there anybody who wants me to do a operating cycle ka sum? Then I'll do it. Else, I move up to receivable management. Not necessary. I knew that. So I am doing now debtor management. But before I teach you debtor management, I think we should be very clear with the concept of debtor management. Debtor management, we'll do a lot of sums, right? We'll be doing a lot of sums today also, and tomorrow, today if time permits, and of course tomorrow also, and then some little time for my cash management and other things. Okay. Now, guys, debtor management. Let us try to understand what debtor management means. What is expected from you? What does ICI want from you? And why am I studying debtor management? See, all of us know that in the beginning of the session, I told you that if I do only cash sales, or if I do not give credit period, I may lose out on customers. So we understand this thing very importantly, that we need to give credit period if at all we want to have higher sales. Okay. But at the same time, we can't afford to be irrational. Now, what do I mean by being irrational? It's like if by increasing my credit period, say for example, right now, I am giving my customers a credit period of 40 days. And I am working at 85% of my capacity, and I'm able to sell 85% of my capacity, which I produce. by giving a credit period of 40 days. Now, my boss says that, Mrs. Agarwal, you are not working at your 100%, you can increase the sales. And increasing the sales is only possible by two things here. One, either I give more time to the people, people who want to trade with me, they are not able to trade with me because maybe they are looking out for more time, before they give money to me. That means if I make a sale and I'm saying, please give the money back in 40 days. Now that 40 days is not sufficient for some customers, though they really want to trade with me, but that amount days are not sufficient. So those people are wanting that if you will make it 60 days or you'll make it 75 days, we are ready to trade. So one tarika or one method for increasing sale is giving higher credit period. Second tarika or the second method of increasing your sales could be you give discounts, right? That, okay, I'm going to give you a discount of 5% or 6% or 7%. Pay me early. Okay, that's the second method of not increasing your credit period, but that's a method of recovering your money faster. And maybe certain customers are lured that, okay, I'm getting a discount of 5%, so let me trade with this person. Okay, so that's second tarika of or method of increasing my sales. Third method of increasing my sales could be that if there is something lacking, say the quality of my product is not very good, so I want to reach up to more customers because then I think that I should be more quality conscious, and I increase the quality of my product, and then I'm able to do more sales. Now, quality aspect, yes, something very important, right? But then that is the qualitative part of it. I am not actually reading. But yes, that's very important. When you will go up to CA final, we'll be teaching you that when we want to work or when we want to evaluate something, we have to look at from the customer's perspective, financial perspective, satisfaction of the quality perspective, or you say innovation or growth. All this we'll be studying when we go up to CA final, the qualitative aspect. We also evaluate that is this process important or not? Can we do away with this? Does this process add value? How can, there are a lot of things which you're going to study at CA final level. It's very interesting. So all of you should think of reaching up to final soon. So I'm not talking about the qualitative part here. I'm only talking about one simple methodology of increasing sales. That is one, either by giving discount or by increasing the credit period. So I share the screen again with you. Yeah. And I give you a very simple thing. Okay. Have you people seen written something like this? 3/10 net 40. What does that mean? Have you people seen something written like this? 3/10 net 40. I'm honestly going to wait before you answer me. I want to know, do you know this, so that I decide my course of teaching. How many of you know the meaning of this? Write it down to me. What does this mean? What does this mean? Anybody knows it? Please tell me. I'm waiting. I'm actually waiting. Any one of you can give the answer? I can see a lot of people being online, so they are attending my session live. Guys, any one of you know the meaning? It means if you're going to pay me in 10 days, I'm going to give you 3% discount. Hercules, it means 10% discount. No. No. See. Thank you, Neetu. That was such an honest answer. Hercules, John, you're wrong. It means my credit period is of 40 days. If you're going to pay me in 10 days, I'm going to give you a discount of 3%. This is what it means. Okay, thank you for telling me this, because now I know how to teach. Okay. Okay, so for my debtor policy, guys, very simple. Very simple. I'm starting from the scratch. Let us say I have a credit policy of 30 days. I give a credit period of 30 days. Now my boss says, Anu, increase this to 50 days. Yes? Okay. 50 days. Or he says, increase this to 75 days. Right? Okay. I ask him that, okay, if I increase, what is going to happen? They say that, okay, if your credit period is of 30 days, you are able to make a sale of 5 lakhs. But if you will increase the credit period to 50 days, they say that your sales will increase by 20%. Okay, 20%, that means 5 lakh into 20%. So that means my sales become 6 lakhs. So I asked that, okay, if at all I increase the credit period to 75 days, they say if you do it by 75 days, your sales are going to increase by 30% of the original sales. I repeat my line, 30% of the original sales. Okay, that means how much does it become? Okay. Now, first of all, why are we reading all this? See, we are reading all this that, as I said, maybe by increasing the credit period, we can increase the sales, or we can cater to more customers. Fine, catering to more customers is a good idea. But we need to also understand that by just increasing my base of more people or my customers, if my profitability reduces, it's not a great idea. I have to anyways make it a point that I should do so much of credit sales and give so much of credit period that I get the maximum profit, or you can say optimum profit. Increasing customers but decreasing my profit is not what I'm looking for. I cannot afford to give a higher credit period if my profitability falls. First thing. So that's the reason why I'm studying receivable management. Second thing, right, John, if my credit period is increased, my funds are blocked for more number of days. My funds being blocked for more number of days, that means my working capital requirement increases. If my working capital requirement increases, it means my interest on working capital increases, ultimately affecting my profit. So my profits will definitely reduce because of that. Next, when there is a higher credit period, please understand there is a risk of people not paying. So if I say that my bad debt risk is 1% people not paying, here it goes up to 1.5% and here it goes up to 2%. So my risk of people not paying me increases. And third, when we do not have our money, please understand I need to keep people to manage my debtors, because they have to give a call to me. They need to send out mails to me. They need to write letters to the debtors so that they make the payment on time. So obviously for that, I need to employ people. So there are management expenses involved. So as the credit period increases, guys, please remember my management expenses also increase. So management expenses, say if it was 15,000 here, it becomes 20,000 here, and it becomes 25,000 here. So guys, there are three things which disturb me. Higher credit period definitely means higher sales. Fair enough. But with that, I get out with three expenses. One is the bad debt increases. Second, my expenses for management increases. And third, my working capital loan increases. So if you'll actually look at it, the interest on working capital increases, which is technically known as opportunity cost. Why it is opportunity cost? Because more working capital loan means more interest. So I'm actually saving. I'm saving my interest on my working capital loan if I give a lower credit period. Okay. Now, let us start evaluating. If I tell you, now please understand, if I have to look from the profit point of view, I need to know my gross profit percentage. Yes, sir. Now, if I say I earn a gross profit of 25%. Now, from that gross profit percentage, I need to subtract these three expenses. Then only I'll be able to vet that am I actually gaining, whether my profits are actually increasing or they're not increasing. If they're not increasing, there is no point at all of increasing your credit period. Yes. Okay, let us try doing this sum. So one was 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs, and 7.5 lakhs. Yes. I'll make it a little more neater. I'll type it. Okay. Typing becomes easier. Oh, then I'm not able to occupy. Okay. So my sales, 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs, and last was 6.5 lakhs. Yes. Now, on that, I know my GP rate, right? How much is the GP rate? 25%. So can I find out my profit? 5 lakh into 25% is 1.25. $1.25 on 6 lakhs, 25%, 1.5, and on my 6.5 lakhs, 25% is 1.625. I'm doing this sum very simple, right? Okay, 1.625 lakhs. Now, this is my GP. From this, I need to subtract my expenses, my bad debts. Yes. So my bad debts, how much are my bad debts? 1%. So 5 lakhs into 1% is going to be 5,000. So can I write this as 0.05, 5,000? Here it is going to be 0.6 lakhs into 1.5%. Yes. And here it is going to be 2%. Yes. So it is going to be 0.13, 13,000. Okay. My management expenses I had given to you. My management expenses were, I think, 15,000, 20,000. Then it was 25,000 in the sum which I gave you. Yes. And now I need to subtract the interest which actually I'm losing. And that interest is known as opportunity cost. You'll find everybody calling that to be opportunity cost. How do I calculate that opportunity cost? Don't go by any formula or anything. Simple terms. What is my credit sales? My credit sales are 5 lakhs, yes or no? How much credit period do you give them? You give a credit period of 30 days. So into 30. Now I am assuming 360 days in a year. I am assuming 360 days in a year. So divided by 360. Now what am I getting? This is nothing but the value of my debtors. If I make a sale of 5 lakhs credit sales, I make in a year, 30 days of credit I give. So what is my debtors? So it is into 30 divided by 360. Yes, sir. Comes out to be some 41,667. Yes or no? Now, friends, these debtors are a reason for my money being blocked in the form of working capital. Now, if I say bank charges 15% of interest on any working capital loan that they give, I can calculate 41,667 per 15%. Can I calculate 15% on it? Okay, so when I calculate 15% on it, yes, so it'll be how much? 41,667 into 15%. How much does it come out to be? It comes out to be 6,250. It comes out to be 6,250. Now, don't you think this 6,250 is also a cost to me? Yes or no? It's also a cost to me. 0.625. Similarly, I can do it for when my debtors are 6 lakhs and how much credit period I was giving. I was giving a credit period of, I think, how many days was the credit period? I forgot. I forgot what was the credit period. I don't have it. Can anybody tell me how much was the credit period? It was 50 days or it was 60 days? How much was the credit period I took in the sum? I forgot. How much credit period? First was 30 days. Second was 45 days or 50 days. How much credit period was there? In the second situation, how much credit period was there? Can you please tell me? $50 days. So I calculate 6 lakhs into 50 divided by 360 days. 83,333 would be the value of your debtor, and please calculate 15% on it. Your figure would be 12,500. So 12.5. And I go further. For 6.5 lakhs, yes, 6,50,000, my credit period was, I think, 75 days. Divided by 360 into 15%. That comes out to be 20312. So can I write down 20312? How do I write down? Point. And this is 0.20312. Yeah. Now, can I get the profitability, please? The profitability will be 1.25 is the GP. 1,25,000 is the GP. From that, there you subtract the bad debts of 5,000. You subtract the management expenses of 15,000. And from there, you subtract 6,250 as, so your profit will come out to be 98,750. So 98.750. 0.75. Is the profit 98,075? 90. Profit would be 0.9875. Okay. In the second situation, the profit would be 1,50,000 minus 9,000 minus 20,000 management expenses minus 12,500 opportunity costs. This comes out to be 1.085. That is 1,08,500. And then here we calculate 1,62,500 minus 13,000 is your bad debts, minus 25,000 management expenses, minus 20,312. This comes out to be 1 lakh. This is the net profit which I get. Now, looking at this, you can really appreciate it is a good idea to move from 30 days of credit period to 50 days of credit period because your profitability increases. But it is actually a very bad idea to move from 50 days of credit to 75 days of credit because your profit is falling from 1,08,500. It has gone down to 1,04,188. I am actually suffering a loss and my profits have reduced. It's not a great idea. I will never do it. Okay. This is all the logic behind your debtor management. You just need to remember this thing. No need to go in for any kind of rocket science. But I am going to tell you about opportunity cost or this credit period calculation, certain things which ICI asks and our student goes for a toss. Now here the opportunity cost which I've calculated on the selling price. Yes, but technically if I ask you, what is it that is blocked? My selling price is never blocked. I should always find out the cost of my sales. Now, what is cost of your sales? Simple terms. The cost of your sales should include variable cost plus fixed cost. Yes or no? Yes. Now, what happens normally with our students is, if I give you in a sum, wherein I give you, the variable cost, right? Or I give you information in a twisted manner. Our students go for a toss because we should understand if my sales will increase, my variable cost is in a direct proportion to my sales because that will also increase, but my fixed cost will remain constant. So what happens is 90% students who are committing a mistake in calculation of opportunity cost is nothing but that they are doing a arithmetical mistake, nothing else. So I take up a sum to tell you what I actually mean by saying that you guys are doing an arithmetical mistake. And then I'll do more sums. Okay. So I give you a sum, right? By doing it for me. Okay. A very simple sum I give you. T Limited gives you the following policy, gives the following information. So there is present policy, which they are following, and there is proposed policy. Yeah. Please, all of you need to do the sum with me, and then I'll end the session for today. Okay. Now the present policy, I am deleting this because, yeah, okay. Now under the present policy, You give a credit period of 90 days. Now you have got two proposals. Yes, you've got two proposals. One proposal is of reducing the credit period, making the credit period to be 45 days. And you have a second proposal wherein you want to increase the credit period to 135 days. So our manager wants to do it from all angles. He kam karte hain to kya hoga? If I reduce the credit period, what is going to happen? If I'm going to increase the credit period, what is going to happen? So, okay. Now I give you the figure of sales. My figure of sales is, in the present policy, your credit sales are 25 lakhs. In the proposed policy, your credit sales would be 15 lakh. They will drop. And if it is going to be 135 days, your sales are going to really whoop up. They're going to be 75 lakhs. Okay. Your selling price per unit happens to be 500. Of course, that's going to be across. Selling price is not changing. And then if I tell you variable cost is going to be 85% of the selling price. Of course, it is going to be 85% of sales. Then I give you average cost. I give you average cost per unit. Average cost per unit happens to be 450. Right? I give you average cost per unit happens to be 450. And I also give you required rate of return, which is nothing but the interest rate. Required rate of return, when I write, I mean to say that what is the bank going to charge us on the working capital loan, which I'm going to take. So required rate of return is 20%. Yeah. And now please assume 360 days in a year. Assume 360 days in a year. Days in a year. Yeah. Now this is the sum which is given to me, right? Most of us will be able to do it, right? But I know there is going to be an arithmetical mistake which is going to happen, right? I give you 2 minutes to solve it on your own. And then I solve this sum. And I said, as I said, after this sum, I'm going to give you one more sum and then we're going to end the session for today. Okay. So can anybody do this sum for me? I'm actually giving you time of 5 minutes. Can you do it for me? Can you do this sum for me? I'm not. Okay. Now, since I know that by the time I start doing the sum, you get the sum and you start doing it, you would not be able to see what I am doing. So I start doing the sum. For doing the sum, I need to first find out my fixed cost. I need to find out my fixed cost. Right? Now my fixed cost, guys, how do I find out? They have given me an average cost to be 450. Now this average cost of 450, guys, you must have calculated as per your present policy. Yes or no? So how many units you are selling presently? You are selling 25 lakhs is the credit sales. The selling price happens to be 500. So 25 lakhs divided by 500. So you are presently selling 5,000 units. How did I find the units? It was 25 lakhs, which is the present sales, divided by 500, which is the selling price. So I get out with 5,000 units. Now 5,000 units into 450 is how much? This is my total cost. Yes or no? Yes. Average cost into number of units gives you the total cost. So my total cost happens to be 22 lakh 50,000. Yes, 22 lakh 50,000. From this, if I subtract my variable cost, which is given to me as 85% of the sales, so 25 lakhs into 85%, which comes out to be 21,25,000. So do I know my fixed cost? Do I know my fixed costs? My fixed costs are 1,25,000. Friends, this is the only catch in this question. Yes. Now, once I know my fixed costs, guys, don't you think I can find out the cost of all my debtors, right? If I talk my present policy, which is situation 1, my cost of debtors, I definitely know, is 22,50,000. Yes, 22,50,000. If I go for my second option, how much is the sales? Sales are 15 lakh, right? Now sales are 15 lakh. Can you calculate the variable cost? Variable cost would be 15 lakhs into 85% would be the variable cost. How much is it? It is 15 lakh into 85%, which is 12 lakh 75,000, guys. Now in this 12 lakh 75,000, you need to add your fixed cost, which is how much? 1,25,000. So what is my cost of sales in the second situation? It will be 14 lakhs. Yes. Similarly, for my third situation. In my third situation, how much is it? It is 75 lakhs. 75 lakhs into 85%. I'm directly writing the variable cost. It is 63 lakhs 75,000. This is nothing but 75 lakhs into 85%. This is the variable cost. And in this, I'm going to add up my fixed cost, which is 1,25,000. So what is going to be my cost of this is going to be 65 lakhs. Yes. Now, guys, when I found out all this, I think doing the sum is very, very simple. There is nothing there as far as the sum is concerned. So I'll do the thing in present policy. Present policy. Then proposal 1. And then I will do proposal 2. Can I directly do it? How? We have got credit sales. We know the variable cost and we know the fixed cost. So can you subtract from the selling price, variable cost and fixed cost? Okay, let me not take up the risk. I will do it here. Sales here is 25 lakhs. Here is 15 lakhs. Here is 75 lakhs. Please subtract the variable cost. Variable cost, all of us know. It is 21.25 lakhs here. It is 12.75 lakhs here. And in the last situation, it is 63.75 lakhs. I've anyways done it for you. Okay. Now fixed cost. In all places, it is going to be 1.25. 1.25. 1.25. Now you get out with your bad debts, which is given to you. Is it given to you? Right. John, can we subtract it with the total cost, ma'am? What do you want to subtract what from? Right. Of course, bad debts I am going to calculate. Bad debt percentage I had not given to you in the question, right? I did not give to you the bad debt in the question. I am now telling you the bad debt happens to be 5%, 2.5%, and 10%. I'm telling you now, bad debt is 5% here. I'm telling you now. I did not dictate or did not write it out in the question. So bad debt is 5%. So 5% of 25 lakhs is going to be 1.25 lakhs is my bad debt here. Then I said my bad debts reduced in the second situation, proposal 1. My bad debt is 2.5%. So 15 lakh 2.5% comes out to be 37,500. So it is 0.375. And then if I say, if you are going to increase the credit period to 135 days, your bad debt percentage is going to go up to 10%, right? So this is going to be 7,50,000. So I'm writing as that 7.5 lakhs. Now, management expenses were not given to me, but can I calculate my opportunity cost? Now, I think all of you can do the opportunity cost calculation. I have done everything for you. How do you do the opportunity cost calculation? Where did this go? Anyways, opportunity cost calculation. If I do it for you for the first thing, it is 22,50,000. 22,50,000 is the value of cost of debtors. Into what is the credit period? The credit period was 90 days. So into 90 divided by 360. Into what is the percentage? It is 20%. So this comes out to be 1,12,500. Yes. Similarly, it'll come out to be 35,000 here. And here it'll come out to be 4,87,500. So if I calculate my profits would be, net profit would be 12,500 is the profit here. Second situation, your profit is going to be 27,500. Third situation, your profit is going to be minus 2,37,500. That is for the third. Right. 12,500. Second May, it'll be 27,500 profit. And in the third situation, it'll be 0.237,500. Now, anybody who wants me to tell you how did I calculate the opportunity cost? Opportunity cost was calculated how? In the first situation, opportunity cost was how much? What is the value of my debtors? 22,50,000. 22,50,000 into how much is the credit period? Credit period is 90 days divided by, they have told me to assume 360 days in a year. Now I get the figure of debtors into 20%. Similarly, I can do it for my second situation wherein my debtor figure was 14 lakhs into what is the credit period? It was reduced to 45 days. divided by 360 into 20%. And and similarly, you do it for the last year, which was 65 lakhs. 65 lakhs into the credit period is 135 days divided by 360 days into 20%. Yes. Yes. With that, I've calculated these opportunity cost. And then what I've done from my sales, I've deducted all the cost, I've deducted the bad debt, I've deducted the opportunity cost, and I've got out with the figure. So this is one thing which ICI loves to ask, wherein ICI is judging. See, if I do not know the figure of variable cost and fixed cost, I can do the calculation of opportunity cost on my figure of credit sales itself. But if I can find out, I should always find out the opportunity cost or this interest always on the cost of sales. Now, third variation, which ICI loves it. Third variation, I will give this sum to you, and I would like my students to solve it with you. Again, this is an examination sum, right? It has been asked in the examination, wherein there is nothing by which I can actually find out my fixed cost element. No, there's nothing in the question by which I can find out my fixed cost element. Then what should I do? I can actually do things on the basis of incremental. That is, I do not know the figure of fixed cost, but what can I do? That, okay, how much sales have increased? I can do this calculation by incremental. That is, from 25 lakhs, if it goes up to 75 lakhs, how much sales have increased? 25 and 75 ka difference. Or you can say difference in profit. Now, difference in profit, contribution, if I only know the figure of variable cost. Now, say if I would not have been knowing the average cost in this question, if I don't know the average cost in this question, guys, I can't find the fixed cost element. But then how can I do this sum? I can do this sum by making an incremental sheet. How do I make an incremental sheet? Sales minus variable cost is contribution. That you have done it in your costing. Yes. So now what I could have done, 25 minus 21.25 is the contribution in 3.75 is the contribution in situation 1. What is the contribution in situation 2? It is 15 lakh minus 12.75. So my contribution is 2.25. Yes. What I can do, I can take up an incremental sheet. 3.75 and 2.5 ka difference. That is my profits. My contribution has decreased by 1.5. Yes. Now, guys, I could have just taken up, I don't need fixed costs now. I could have just taken up that, okay, my contribution has fallen, but at the same time, I could have done what? From this situation to this situation, I would have taken up the bad debts figure, how much they have reduced. So from 1,25,000, my bad debts is now just 0.375. 1,25,000 minus 37,500. So my bad debts from 1,25,000 have gone down to as low as 37,500. So what do I do? What is the difference between the two? The difference between the two is 87,500. I will add this 87,500. Yes. Then what do I do? For the purpose of opportunity cost, I can take up the difference in the sales. Now the difference in the sales is how much? It is 10 lakh, or you can say, take up the difference in the cost, that is 21.25 and 12.75, or you can, the opportunity cost difference you can take up here, right? How much opportunity cost has gone down? Just take up a difference between the two, 35,000 and 12,500 difference. Add this up. You will automatically come to know that whether your profits have increased or your profits have decreased. Rupal has asked me a question, shall we calculate opportunity cost on credit sales only if cash sales? Beta, Rupal, we are doing debtor management. Debtor management means we are trying to find out that should we extend credit or not. Now, extending credit comes only for credit sales. Cash sales, there is no credit period. So, bacha, you can't consider only cash sales. All these sales which are given to me have to be credit sales, because I'm talking about creditors. I'm talking about, okay. So, just a second. Just a second. Who is this Vikas Patel? I'm sorry. Who is this? Just a second, guys. Just a second. Who is Mr. Vikas Patel? Who is Mr. Vikas Patel? Who is Vikas Patel? I have admitted you to the meeting. Now I don't know how to remove you. Anyways, guys, I'm sharing the screen. Okay. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to end the session now. So guys, this is it. Right. This is it as far as from my side is concerned. But now, guys, tomorrow we'll be doing a lot of sums. We'll be doing a lot of sums wherein I will be talking about how do we use credit terms. You know, we are going to give you discount. That if I offer discount, how is it going to affect the way I'm going to solve the sum? You know, general sums jo aapke examination mein aate hain, that we are going to do it. Guys, I'm a little disturbed. I have added somebody in the meeting, but I think I would like to end the session for today, right? So thank you so much, guys. This is all for today. There was one more question which I wanted to discuss, but I'm not discussing it today. I'll do it tomorrow. So then we'll do more questions on data management, and I'll be teaching you factoring, which is very, very important. And with that, I think working capital, most of your doubts will be cleared as far as ICI examinations are concerned. Thank you so much, guys. I hope all of you have followed and all of you enjoyed the session. I just got disturbed in the last moment. Thank you, dear. Bye-bye. Take care.